Live from the Toad Hop Network studios
in Hollywood, this is the ToadHopNetwork.com.
It is strongly addictive.
Radio worth watching.
Radio worth watching.
Sure, there. Look at that. There. Isn't that perfect? We have, honestly, the best fans. Look at that. That was done by Matt Brown. It's always sunny in Schmoeville. It sure is Schmoeville. It is sunny time. It is the Schmoes Know Podcast. I'm Kristian Harloff.
And I'm Mark Ellis, and I want to know where what's the picture of origin for my face on the It's Always Sunny?
I don't know. It's great, though. You and that cat.
I've never been that happy in my life, so I don't know what the...
Well, you were drunk, obviously, when you took that picture.
Clearly imbibed with alcohol, yes.
One of my favorite comments on that picture is, I couldn't even tell that was Ken as Danny DeVito.
That's perfect, yeah.
That's great.
Did that cheer you up or what, buddy?
Yeah, it made me cry.
Good.
Kenny, one day soon you'll meet your Rhea Perlman.
All right, Johnny. As Johnny Ice tries to take that picture off, we are back on the Schmoes Know Podcast. It's a really very cool show today. A lot of different shit going on. So again, and we are joined by our producer Ken Napso, and our lovely permanent co-host Tiffany Smith.
Yeah.
Hello, Tiffany. All right, guys. So
are we going to stop clapping every time we introduce Tiffany?
No, she's the only girl.
She's the only girl.
Yeah. You know how like Kramer on Seinfeld, the first couple seasons, every time he walked in, he'd get an applause break, and then they're like, "Hey, let's just stop doing it because he's going to do it every show."
She's turning into Kramer. She burps like a sailor. Oh my god!
It's actually part of her contract, right?
Yeah, she's got a burp.
Clap.
Yeah,
I
looked over. I thought it was
expect
Shoesy
clapping.
Yeah.
I can't burp on cue very well, but I mean, maybe one will come out later if I have some beer. We'll see.
We will see. All right, guys.
It's
so
sexy, I know.
Schmoeville, here's a couple of things you should know. So again, last week this worked well on our Facebook page, Facebook.com/Schmoes Know. Just go to the wall and start a conversation there. You can talk to Schmoeville about what we're talking about right now, as well as Twitter @Schmoes Know. A lot of cool stuff to talk about today. This first hour, we are going to geek out. If you're not a Star Wars Episode 7 fan, I assume to tune out of this. Or if you are, or if you're not, and you want to see who we're going to cast.
If you're not, you will be by the end of this hour.
Maybe.
We're going to win your ass over.
Mark, what did we do last night? What did we do last night?
We had what you call in the corporate world, Kristian, a team-building exercise.
Yeah.
Literally, we all built Star Wars teams. What we did is we had a fantasy draft of Star Wars cast and crew for the upcoming Episode 7 that's going to be directed by J.J. Abrams, and it's coming out in a couple years. So, yes, we're a little peaked.
Yeah, and what we did was we came up with this bet that what would happen is we would pick just like the rules in a fantasy football team. And then you would pick, everybody had drafts. There were a total of 7 people in the draft?
There were 8
people in it.
There were 8 competitors. We all had sheets that had a bunch of actors and actresses and possible crew members that could be in Episode 7. Then we took turns. We had a draft order, that good stuff.
And so you had 8 actors, 8 actresses, and then 2 could be random crew members. It could be a composer. It could be an editor. You had a list of all these people you could choose from. We did it. We had a great draft. We can see some of the draft, a little before and after stuff on Schmo Plus. If you're not, there's some funny stuff going on there too. And there was a cheating incident. There was a cheating incident that happened. We're not going to call anybody out on it
We're
yet.
not going to call anybody out.
Not yet.
He is so getting called out.
No, right. Eventually he will. Now, and again, if you guys are watching Schmo Plus, you'll know who did that. But as of right now,
cheaters never win.
Yeah. Well, and we don't know because he has a pretty decent team. So here's how we're going to go into a couple things first. We're going to talk about the news because Kenny has some news. Then Mark and I are going to let you guys know who's everyone's team, who they picked.
We're revealing the entire draft board, and then you guys can listen to everybody's individual team. Whose team you think is going to be the best? Who is going to win this bet? Kristian, did you tell him what the lucky winner is going to have?
No, you go ahead, buddy, because this is really interesting.
Yeah, it's very exciting and very nerve-wracking for a picky eater like myself. Whoever wins the fantasy draft, whoever has the most crew members right,
that are cast. I mean, and it can be. It's not the most. It's the first to 3.
The first person to accurately guess 3 people that are going to be a part of Episode 7 wins dinner, and they will be treated to dinner.
Any restaurant in L.A.
Any restaurant in L.A. Go as fancy as you want. You can. Hey, we'll even go to the Olive Garden. I'll put on a jacket for that. And everybody else on the podcast is gonna fit the bill. Here's where it gets tricky is that everybody has to eat some food served at that restaurant. Right. So what's worrying me is that I think everybody else, if anybody else besides me wins this damn thing, they're going to go to sushi just to see the look on my face when I have to put a raw dead fish in my mouth.
Yeah, it's true. So that's going to be a lot of fun. But before, again, tweet in, and we want to know you guys, as far as picks go, remember when you guys out there are critiquing picks, think about it as far as do they know J.J. Abrams? Do they have a good job? Were they been in Star Trek? Like, start to think like
a lot had to go into it.
Yeah,
Or
it wasn't just
if
like
you're a dude, like last night, the guys were like, "She's hot. I'm
Wait,
putting
wait,
her
wait,
in the list."
Wait, to
we
be fair, that
did
was
that,
one man.
or Josh McCouga did it. The whole entire thing. Her tits.
I just have to say, I feel like the only girl in this room, but last night it was like amplified 50 times over.
and
the dog was
and
farting
Reilly's
in my
dog
face.
Farting. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, but I would also like to take this opportunity to thank, from the bottom of my heart, Tiffany Smith for showing up last night. Because if you have a Star Wars fantasy draft with just dudes, oh my God.
I was excited about it.
Yeah,
and I was
it was
sick,
fun.
and I brought
You
bourbon.
played through the pain.
What's up
Yeah.
with that? I brought
Okay,
it.
so
You're a
let's.
baller, kid.
Now we have again. What we're going to try to do here is we're going to go through a full hour talking about all these teams and everything, and like the possibilities if these people actually got cast and what we think about it and if it's possible. And then we'll, like I said, we spend an hour on it, and then what we're slated to do in hour two. This is definitely happening. Our buddy comedian Tom Connolly is coming in for hour two. He's going to be here regardless, and it's up to Schmoeville. So we're going to see where we're at about, the second hour. We're probably going to get into football movies at some point in the show. It's just a matter of where we're at the show and figure out how we feel about the movies.
I might take a baby nap during that.
You stop it.
We're
probably
very
like some
excited
stuff.
about episode
My
7.
favorite part of the draft last night is having to explain football to her. Fantasy
Not football
draft.
Fantasy football draft. Because I'm like, they said we
Not
were gonna
auction.
play.
It was a snake draft.
Yeah.
All right, but
Whatever. They said we were going to play, and I was like, I have no idea what these rules are. You got to tell
I said
me.
Mark Hamill's like Arian Foster, and she's like, I don't know who that guy is.
all right. Speaking of people who don't know much about anything, Kenny Knapsack is going to be doing the news. It is news time because we got to get into this fantasy stuff. So let's get the news out of the way.
What's the news, Ken?
I'm Ken Napsok, and these are your Schmoes Know headlines. Bryan Singer used a twit machine this week to announce that Ellen Page, Anna Paquin, and Shawn Ashmore join the cast of X-Men Days of Future Past. They will be reprising their roles from Singer's earlier X-Men películas. And now we know the plot will move the story about 10 years into the future, taking place in 1973, meaning this movie will probably be a big, sexy superhero key party. Paramount has confirmed that J.J. Abrams will be sticking around the Star Trek universe despite reaching across the sci-fi aisle to direct Star Wars. Vice Chairman Rob Moore said Abrams will at a minimum stay on as a producer for the third Trek film in the rebooted version of the franchise, as well as help develop future Mission Impossible projects. Insert lens flare joke here. In news that made this fanboy as nervous and excited as Shoy Pants sneaking around the alley behind Katie Sackhoff's house, the live-action Robotech movie finally has a director, and it's commercial director Nick Matthew. Not quite the Episode 7 sweepstakes. Producer Tobey Maguire has been trying to get the film and a possible franchise off the ground since 2007. Robotech, of course, is a classic American cartoon made from 3 different Japanese animated properties in which Rick Hunter, Lisa Hayes, and the crew of the SDF-1 take on aliens known as the Zentradi. For more Robotech news, just hang out at my apartment. And more director news, the World of Warcraft film adaptation now has its director. Sam Raimi was once attached but long ago dropped out. Duncan Jones, director of Moon, Source Code, and son of David Bowie, has signed on with Legendary Pictures to helm the project. Some rumors have Johnny Depp pegged as a potential star. It will have a budget of approximately $100 million and will take 1 billion experience points to make. Warcraft is set for release in, you guessed it, 2015. A recent study showed that 94% of cool movies are set for release in 2015. Casting news, Charlize Theron has joined Seth MacFarlane's Western comedy, A Million Ways to Die in the West. MacFarlane will direct and star in this one. Vegas odds have it 4-1 that his character's voice will sound way too close to Peter Griffin. The next Muppets movie is now filming and now has a title, The Muppets Again. The plot finds Team Kermit wrapped up in an international crime caper with a lot of action in London involving a much-desired diamond, or, in other words, the general plot of 1981's The Great Muppet Caper. Charles Grodin does not approve. I'm Ken Napsok, and those were your Schmoes Know headlines.
Kenny Knapsack.
My God,
Well
just such an informative and hilarious spin on the news. It takes 5 minutes out of your life to listen to that.
It's so good.
What a reward.
Well, even look, Dylan Nash.
You are so cheesy. What a reward.
But it's true. It's a family. It's
What
a family.
a pleasant
sorry, I just-
experience.
Give it a pat.
I appreciate it, Mark
was-
Ellis.
But next time you do
I
it,
love the
say
cheese.
end it with little guy.
Just
Just do it in the Muppet voice.
Yeah, exactly. So,
hey, little guy. Oh, no, wait, that's Alf.
something
Sorry,
else.
That's Alf.
At DNash13 says, when it comes to the news, Kenny Knapsack is the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. How about that?
Yeah, that was much better than what I said.
Yeah,
about
it was.
Yeah,
And he ended it with little guy. All right. So now we are going to talk maybe just any stories you want to talk about quick because we got to get to this draft.
Yeah,
we got to talk about.
I don't want to get a too long-winded of an explanation. What the hell is Robotech?
Yeah.
Robotech, Harmony Gold series in the mid-'80s. series. Carl Masick produced this series. He found 3 properties of Japanese animation, melded them together into one story. You have the Macross Saga, the Robotech Masters, and the New Generation.
Jesus Christ.
It spans,
this little guy came prepared.
Yeah, that's right. It's my thing, man. It's my thing. You got Van Halen, I got Robotech.
Is that really? That's like you love Robotech.
I love Robotech.
Okay, so you are very excited about this news.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'm passionate. I'm burning
even with the
passion
director.
for this.
So the director, how do you feel about that?
I was
Curious.
frightened when it was announced. Tobey Maguire picked up the properties. He's a big fan, so he says he's going to respect it. This was in 2007. It's been lying dormant for a long time.
What commercials is the guy directing?
My friend and writing partner Matt Keys in the back here. He works in the commercial business. I asked today, do you know this guy? No one knows this guy.
No.
So
hasn't even done a Carfax ad yet.
Well, but that doesn't necessarily always mean everything too, because regardless of what Josh the intern thinks about Mark Webb, I really enjoy his directing, and he was a okay, all right. Well, he was he was a commercial director. I remember being at Silver a long time ago, and no one really knew. Like, oh, check this guy, and I remember his name.
Right. Yeah.
And no one really was
for the
picking
record,
up on the guy.
The commercial director thing doesn't scare me. I think those are very innovative people. And a lot of big name directors secretly have commercial directing careers. Yeah. I'm excited. It's one of those things that can you contain it to one movie? I mean, the series is like 95 episodes long.
I just hope as excited as you are, it makes me feel like Avatar: The Last Airbender, where the cartoon was amazing, and then the movie.
But that's Shama Flom Flom. He was awful. All right. Last thing, real quick before we got to get into this thing. Everyone's super excited about it. The Muppet movie. I can't. I had a conversation the other day with my wife about this. My daughter is going to be around 2.5 when the movie comes out.
Man.
Do you think she'd be able to sit through it though? I mean,
2.5?
2.5.
Take her to one of the mommy and baby movies where it's like midday. Don't ask me why. I know they actually have.
Isn't that where Muga hangs out every morning?
I'm excited about a new Muppet movie. Especially, I want them to have more to do than they did because this last movie, it's like they got to put on a production, save a theater. Yeah. I want them in another great Muppet caper.
And Animal needs to do more. Animal.
I have a very large soft spot for the Muppet caper as a child. That baseball diamond scene. You know, the announcing, the guy with the fish flinging around announcing the dive. It's just so similar right now, but I'm definitely excited. I love what they did with the reboot of the Muppets.
It was a lot of fun. All right, no offense, but fuck this noise. Let's do.
Hey Kermit, let's talk about the draft.
All right,
draft time.
Now there's a song that we picked to start it all up, and Mark's gonna love this. Johnny Ice, you ready to rock?
Cue it.
Do it. That's not it.
It is from Star Wars.
It's not the one.
This is from Buck Rogers, right?
Star Wars.
Yes.
Nothing but Star Wars. Give me the Star Wars.
Bill fucking Murray.
That's right. Who better to bring up this draft than Mr. Bill Murray?
Maybe the funniest human that has ever walked the face of the earth.
He might just show up tonight. He might just walk in. That's what he does.
It could happen.
Right, so it's time for the draft. It's time to tell you guys the teams. So we picked some music for each team. So the way it's going to work is we're gonna announce we're gonna talk about the captain of the team.
Yeah.
Then Mark and I will read off the names of this person's team. Then we will interview this person. They will tell us, everyone on the team, why they picked it, and myself, you, and Tiffany will interview them as they're a guest and talk to them. So first up,
I want to make one point really clear though.
Yeah.
Crystal, for those of you who don't know fantasy football rules that well, it was a draft, so this isn't an all-star team necessarily.
Right.
It's like if somebody drafts Harrison Ford, no one else can have him.
Right.
So don't write in and be like, why didn't you put Harrison Ford? It's because he wasn't available anymore.
Yeah,
so.
and again, towards the end of the list, that's when the rounds, and there was like slim pickings. So they'll be like, well, why did you pick Shia LaBeouf?
Yeah.
Well, because he was the only one left, but nobody took him, thank God. Okay, so here we go. We are going to now start. Our first team is going to be Shoesy Pants.
Okay, now do you want to read Shoesy Pants, or would you like me to do it?
Also, can we just say
name.
that we had no say in the songs that got picked?
No,
for us?
absolutely not. Only myself and Mark. That's right. So you don't know. They don't know the songs that they're going. We don't want the song yet to play until Shoesy Pants is set. Mark and I are going to read the names. No one's going to say anything until we're all done. Then we'll interview Shoesy Pants about some of his picks.
Yeah.
Talk about it, and then we want Schmoville to chime in if they like his team, if it sucks, if they think it's a whatever, like good choices. All right. So are we ready to go, Johnny Ice? All right. Here is the music.
Are you nervous?
A little bit.
This is the Jar Jar Binks theme.
Oh boy! Oh, Shoesy
He even
Pants.
shaved his face for this.
That's all we needed to do.
He even shaved
turn
his
it up a little
face
more,
for
Johnny.
this.
All right, Shoesy Pants. His first pick was Mark Hamill.
Yeah, all right.
Big pick.
Yeah, buddy.
Second pick. Oh, you don't have the list.
Yeah, I'll read. You read one, then I'll read one.
Wait, he's got. Well, I'm not going to keep switching that back and forth. Here you go.
It's nice to
Let's
feel
have
appreciated.
Reilly back. I don't
used
trust
some,
Reilly back
really
there.
beautiful writing on these lists as
So
well.
first pick was Mark Hamill.
And then he has Hans Zimmer, the composer.
Third pick was Ian McGregor.
Viggo Mortensen following that.
That would be followed by Anna Torv.
And then the young, the beautiful, the not legal yet, Dakota Fanning.
Tom Wilkinson chiming in.
Charlie Hunnam.
Jennifer Lawrence, going to be nowhere
wore his
found
shirt
in
for
this
that one tonight.
franchise, shows up.
Yep, the star fucking continues with Christian Bale.
That's right, followed by everyone's favorite smiler, Ellen Page.
And then James Remar.
Helen Mirren, just because Shoy Pants wants a piece.
Yep.
And then, it sounds like a gym teacher, Walter Goggins.
Superman's mother, Diane Lane.
Amanda Seyfried.
Trisha Helfer.
Okay, we like her. Paul Dano.
And fine, it's all done with Seamus McGarvey. That is Shoy Pants' team. So
That's a winner right
all
there.
right, at Schmoville, what do we like about his team? Do we like his team? Do you think it stinks? What's the what do you think? All right, that's
And
the
I think
that's
what's-
the end of the music there.
What's pretty obvious is that Shoy Pants, you won the first overall pick
Yeah.
by random order,
Yes.
and you did not hesitate in taking Mr. Mark Hamill. Explain that reason.
Right.
I didn't even have to think about
Mm-hmm.
it. And as I said, when I made the pick, it was partially a very hopeful pick that
Yeah.
he'll
Right.
be in the movie.
So you
Yeah.
knew though if you said if I got number one pick, Mark Hamill's
Oh
going.
yeah, easy.
Okay.
Dude, like no brainer.
Yeah, but then it was such a weird left turn because then he has Hans Zimmer because John
Yeah.
Williams and Michael
Giacchino.
that
Yeah.
guy are both. Those are
Yeah.
the two maybe the first.
And
two
they were gone
composers
already.
taken.
They were
Yeah.
gone already.
And
Yeah.
so then you had Hans Zimmer.
They were. I would liken it to when somebody takes a tight end in the third round and you
Yeah.
kind of start panicking.
Yeah.
No
and-
idea what you're saying right now.
Yeah,
no
yeah, I know.
idea.
Yeah.
They do. And just quite honestly, when it comes to crew stuff, I'm not quite as knowledgeable, so I just went, yes. You know.
All right, so you wanted to get it out of the way.
And
Yeah.
you guys were nice enough to change the composer requirement right after I made that pick, so
Right.
that was awesome.
yeah, well, you can't
I
have the
probably
first overall pick without having.
Probably would have gone in a different direction there, but yeah,
Look,
whatever.
the Schmoville is Schmoville's backing your team. They like it. Now, what is the name of your team?
My team name is Scum and or Villainy.
Scum and or Villainy. Okay,
Like it.
that's a good
Like
one.
it.
Okay, all right, so that's his team.
Moss Eisley Cantina.
It looks like there's some good picks. It says they like the Hunnam pick.
Yeah.
They like the Dakota pick. Paul Dano, they like that pick as
Yeah,
well.
I'll tell you which ones I like. I like the Helen Mirren pick. I'm
Yeah.
a big fan of that. She got definitely see her in the universe.
Absolutely.
My question, Ellen Page, what the hell are you thinking
I don't know. I
with
don't
Juno in the Star Wars universe?
He's going off Inception. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
she could play. Look, she won me over in Inception because she didn't have to over frown it.
I didn't like her in Inception.
Really?
I didn't think she added anything to it. I
liked
felt like
it.
she was just like there.
All right. Well, I mean,
Like,
again,
she could just be there in Star Wars.
Yeah,
I guess.
like get pregnant and start having some witty quips again.
yeah, I mean, again, it's a good. It seems good. We obviously know that we'd love to see Viggo in there. Now, the Ian McGregor in the third round is questionable to me because here's why I don't think he's going to be anywhere seen. I think the same reason they're not doing the 3D movies anymore. Disney wants the prequel out of everyone's minds. They don't want, so they're not going to put in Ian McGregor or Liam Neeson or anybody. I don't think they're going to be.
That's a
anywhere to see.
Disney decision. This is not. We don't know what the script is. Who's writing the script? Who's behind closed doors telling in their ears, saying, "Hey, if you can avoid any sort of Jar Jar-y,
Yeah,
then
right. Well, but again, so with Ian McGregor
Yeah.
again, and you're following. This is the first big sequel we've had to Return of the Jedi. It's the one that everyone really wanted, not the prequels. They want this one. This is it.
this ain't
And-
Ewoks Battle for
Right.
Endor,
Right.
baby. This
No,
is
no.
the show.
So fresh in your minds off that one is Alec Guinness. So if
Yeah.
he comes back as Obi-Wan, you're like, huh? So no thanks.
it's going to be easier to book Ewan McGregor than it is Alec Guinness. I'm just gonna. I'm guessing on that
That's
one.
true.
All right, so what do we rate? What do we rate? How do we like?
How many schmoes do we give it?
How many schmoes do we give his team?
Out of 5 schmoes.
Out of 5 schmoes.
I'm gonna go. I there's a couple on here that I really hate.
Yeah.
But for the most part, he did his job when he had
Yeah.
to. 3.5 out of 5 schmoes
I like
for
it.
Scum and or Villainy.
I like. You know what? I liked the Mark Hamill. The fact that he jumped at it. I think he was smart and not go. The Hans Zimmer pick as a second pick overall, even if you change the rules, dopey. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna push. I'm gonna go 3.5 out of 5.
Yeah, Tiffany.
I can't defend it.
Okay.
I'm going to go 3 out of 5.
All right.
No, this is not.
All right. How about you, Schmoville? How many schmoes do you give Shoesy
Amanda
Pants?
Seyfried.
All right. So let's get to the
needed-
second.
I
We're gonna get
needed
to the second
females.
team now.
Thank you for
Thank
joining
you,
us.
Shoesy Pants.
Hey,
Now,
thanks for
Scum and or
having me. It's
Villainy.
been a great time.
speaking about Villainy,
Nice
you have his
work.
arch nemesis coming in next, and that would be Josh the Intern. So here's Josh the Intern song. You know what this is?
I have no idea.
You'll know. Perfect song for Josh the Intern.
Is this the Gungan Ward
No.
chant? What is it?
You'll know. You'll know in a second. Gonna hear it. Yub nub. Talking yub nub.
Oh, is he Ewok?
Listen.
Is this from the original? Yeah, this is a great tune. You got a good song
They
here.
like to party.
All right, so here's his. All right, so
I like
they
to
do.
party.
His team likes to party. All right, so you can turn it up, John. All right, so his first pick, Brandon and Marky, who are the editors on mostly all of J.J. Abrams' movies.
You're
Okay.
welcome.
All right, yeah. He went
You are
behind the
welcome.
scenes.
Second pick.
Warwick Davis. Wicket the Ewok, everybody.
Third pick, throwing out the Colt 45, Billy D. Williams.
Following that by Rooney Mara.
Then he goes a little Dark Knight-ish with Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah, he falls in love with fame, continuing with Emily Blunt.
Yes, then Elizabeth Olsen.
She's not one of the twins, kids.
Nope.
Mr. New Dread himself, Carl Urban.
Ray Fiennes.
Kate Beckinsale.
Michelle Monaghan.
Kyle Chandler, the dad from Friday Night Lights,
Tim Burton's wife.
which is Helena Bonham
She doesn't
Carter.
even get a name.
Yeah. The Zero Dark 30 casting continues with Jason Clarke,
Maggie Q.
Ryan Gosling,
Anna Kendrick.
Roger Deakins.
And ending it with Silver Linings Playbook, Bradley Cooper. All right, good.
Okay.
There you go.
Josh the Intern, welcome
right.
to the show. The first question, what is the team
What
name?
is the team name of the Ewoks?
It is Josh, the Intergalactic Destroyer.
Okay.
Josh,
Yeah.
All right. Nice, Johnny Ice. Okay, Schmoville, what do we think about Josh the Intern's team? Tweet in. So far, they love the Warwick Davis pick, the Rooney Mara, Elizabeth Olsen, Kyle Chandler, Ryan Gosling, and Bradley Cooper. They love the team.
Yeah.
Really? Bradley Cooper?
I don't like the Bradley Cooper
I
pick, but
don't like that
at that
one.
point, it was slim pickings.
That
It was
was
at
my
the
last
end.
pick.
I'm saying
Yeah.
people are tweeting in saying they like that
Yeah,
one.
I know. Now, Dylan Nash says Josh's team is far better than Shoesy Pants' team.
Thank you.
So,
Fact.
I'm
Yeah.
just saying.
And
Here's
Shoesy
where,
Pants got first pick.
Yeah.
Shoesy Pants are first.
Josh the Intern was picking fourth in
Yeah.
the order, so that means that these
Yes, he was
editor
number
guys,
4.
you did your research, and it's clear because you drafted these two editors that have
Yep.
done every one of J.J. Abrams'
Can we
movies.
just give credit where credit is due?
Yeah.
I sent those names in, and he
No, you
goes,
didn't.
Yeah, I did.
You did?
Yes, I did.
Did
Do
you?
you want to tell
All right.
them what you
And
told
I
me
was
last
like-
night?
I was like, who are these two? I was like, oh, yeah, that'd be a good first pick.
Well, good. Well,
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
yeah.
The
Okay.
genius, but the wizard behind the curtain, everybody,
It is,
Tiffany
uh,
Smith.
So I
It's a
think
smart move.
Yeah, it's a good. Listen. The guy knows his movies. He was sitting
Yeah.
there. He was quiet about stuff, and he was going through lists, and he waited. And look, he had a lot of picks. There were a couple times that he was going, and he even said to me, he's like, "Oh, I thought he was going to go a while ago." Josh Inter picks a lot of smart picks.
I know that
as-
Kristian is happy about your Rooney Mara selection because
very
Kristian really
much
wants
so.
her in the movie.
I just put her in our actresses list.
Which
Yeah.
was now live on the site.
Yep.
The Billy D. Williams selection.
I love it. I love it.
Come on, man. Come
I
on,
love
give him
that.
a cameo.
I think it's a better. I think it's as good as Harrison Ford, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
I'll tell you why. Because the thing is, too, we're not talking about. He doesn't have to say lines and lines of dialogue. He just
He just has to show up, smile, give that Billy D. smile,
Yeah,
that
I mean,
grin.
he needs to show up for a second. They pull into some port. He's there going, "Hey," and he's out, and he gets cast for one line.
Yeah.
That's a point.
And there's the point. Yeah.
That's it. So I think it's good. I think it's good. I think because J.J. Abrams, I feel, is going to want to connect everyone into the old universe and get, like I said, get the prequels out of everyone's minds. I think it was a smart pick.
I can see Lando like having a kid character in the next one who's like grown up like Anthony Mackie could play his kid.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot
Okay,
of.
easy. You're not writing the fucking movie.
Yeah,
okay,
right.
you're just drafting.
Be so
Jesus.
lucky.
Well, speaking of which, I think that if we do decide to go farther, we can actually talk about the movies of the best teams like later on.
I think we should all have to write a full
Later
script,
on. I know,
and
but
then
that's-
whoever's script is closest to the actual movie
Kenny, we
gets dinner.
have time to schmo his thing and then get to. Okay, all right. So let's do. All right. So let's
Yeah.
schmo. Let's schmo. We want Schmoville to schmo Josh the Intern's team, and I'm gonna and Mark. Go ahead.
This is a great squad you got here. I like a lot of these picks. There's very few duds. I am going to go 4.5 out of 5 schmoes for Josh the Intergalactic Destroyer.
I think for me, the Brandon Markey, Warwick, and Billy D. Great points. Got a chance to win it right off the bat with those. The
And
dinner.
he's got some star power
Yeah.
late.
Yeah,
too.
he's got a chance as far as all cast in the movie. I'm going to go 4 out of 5 schmoes. It's a good list. I just think that there's a two big stars at the end that he might be stuck on 2 for a long time.
I don't think Bradley Cooper's going to be in the movie. I don't think Ryan
that's what I'm
Gosling's gonna
saying.
be
He
in
might
the
be
movie.
stuck on 2 for a long time.
Yeah, you get in those later rounds and stuff.
Tiffany.
I'm going to go with 4 on this one.
Yeah.
I think the beginning of the list you did amazingly well. You're
Yeah.
welcome. Towards the end with, Gosling,
Wow,
not going to happen.
At Dan gives Josh the Intern 2.5. Says there's too many stars, and when that happens, it takes him out of the movie experience. But that's not what the list is all about.
Yeah.
The list is just about he's got those stars in there because he just has to hit 1 or 2 of those. It's the first to 3.
Yeah.
The first to 3 gets that dinner. Okay, so thank you, Josh. Now we can cover his team. Or you want to cover? All right, so we have our next team is going to be Mark Riley's team. So we are. Let's get Mr. Reilly in here. Throw on those cans. Here's his.
Yeah. Now, what we're going to do with Reilly, I think that we can cover the scandal after we come back from break. I think we should just cover the team, then we'll talk about the tomfoolery.
We're team first, then tomfoolery after.
We'll just make him look really bad when we read the list.
All right, here it is, tomfoolery.
Love it.
Oh, yeah.
Love it.
Come on, I did you right.
Yeah.
Here we go. Okay.
Let's do well with the first theme.
Now, here is Mark Reilly's team. Team Reilly. Unyet named. Starting off, coming in the number 1 spot, that would be R2D2 himself, Kenny Baker.
Yes.
Kenny Baker at number 1, and at number 2, the guy who wrote the score you're listening to, Mr. John Williams.
Coming in 3, his face is on my shirt, Yoda, Frank Oz.
And then Andy Serkis, Frank Oz of his generation in a way.
Yeah, you say, so far a bunch of power hitters, and then he has a singing Oscar contender, Anne Hathaway.
Yeah.
And just
listen to that crescendo of the music. With that. Come on.
Just like the Golden Globes, we got music and comedy because we have Simon Pegg next.
That's right. Then followed by Black Widow, Scarlett Johansson, who's not going to be tied up in all Avengers of Marvel. Oh, wait. Sorry. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, she'll be in the movie. Next.
That's right. Middle Eastern terrorist took Qui-Gon's daughter, and he's pissed about it. Liam Neeson.
That's right. And then Alias herself, Jennifer Garner.
Followed by Lincoln, Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah.
If you're wondering if this list could get any worse, it just did. Julia Roberts coming in next.
Yeah, we'll talk about Julia Roberts in a second.
From maybe the most famous actress on the face of the planet to some guy, I don't know who the hell he is, Jonas Kaminsky.
Yeah, and then if Man of Steel does well, this woman won't be in this movie, Amy Adams.
Kate Winslet follows her.
That's Natalie Portman going to come back from the dead.
It's a nice prequel you're putting together. Yeah. Jude Law.
If you had Schmoville before, you've lost them now. Kristen Stewart on that list.
Not even the great James Bond Daniel Craig can save you now.
Followed it off by Josh the Intern frowning with Andrew Garfield coming up last. That is your team. Now look. I want to see what how Schmoville reacts to this. The first tweet, Jay Kressel, 1 out of 5. Holy shit. Is the tweet.
Okay. So before he gets too thrown under the bus with people judging his list.
Yeah.
What's your team name first of all?
What's the team name?
The Reilly Alliance.
The Reilly Alliance.
I like it.
Okay, the Reilly Alliance.
Sorry, that sounds like an Irish drinking club.
All right.
Well, it's a dance too, so.
All right.
We made a rule last night because we had the list of all the actors and actresses. We were not allowed to use IMDb to look them up during the draft.
Right. There was a rule.
There were 2 timeouts you could take to ask one person's name to look them up and possibly just look at their picture, not scroll through.
Yeah.
So I took a timeout. While I'm having a timeout, I look over and this guy's still looking on IMDb.
Right.
He's like, I just been kind of looking at it through the whole draft. I'm like, what? You're like,
I never said that.
I didn't understand. I didn't understand the rules. I'm like, so that's okay. So then when we decided, what we said was we either take a pick away from Reilly or we choose for him. He said we choose for him, and that's why Julia Roberts is on his team.
That's right. And, I floated the idea of making him draft a Med Best, but then there's the slightest chance that there could be a Jar Jar sighting.
But I'm very happy because there's that rumor. I don't know if you guys read it today. Julia Roberts is a Sith Lord.
Yeah,
I think it's. I'm pretty excited about it.
You don't go anywhere because you're going to come back. We're going to give you some more shit. We're going to talk about some of your team because there's more people.
You got to talk about the team.
You got a lot of good things on there. So we'll be right back. We're going to talk about the list. Schmoes Know Podcast, Mark Ellis, Kristian Harloff, Tiffany Smith, and the rest of the crew will be back in a second. Making the rules as we go along. Hey, guys.
Flying by the seat of our pants.
It's the Schmoes Know Podcast.
Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Love it.
You're my only hope.
Who is that? She's beautiful. She's your sister.
She was a princess.
That's right.
Oh, my God. I don't think I've ever heard this.
It's perfect. I was going to be yours originally, but then I was like, nah, we'll give him the Force because this team sucks so bad the second half.
Star Wars.
Yeah, right.
Star Wars
So at least we know that
Yeah.
song is not going to be anyone's theme since you've played it.
It's the truth. Now, but I
worry,
wanted
your
to let
song's
I wanted to
I
let
was
some of
worried that was
Schmo.
going to be
You
mine.
just put it out there. They're changing your song right now.
You cheater, be quiet.
You cheater. Okay.
So I wanted to let Schmoven know as well. I am checking Facebook as well. Nathan Fell said, "Oh, he's not checking Facebook," and let us know. There's a lot of talk about Reilly's team, and Chris Geronda on Facebook says, "Tear Mark Reilly apart because cheaters never prosper." And so
Reilly
Cheaters
Alliance.
never
That's
win.
right.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's kind of harsh, guys.
All right. Well, here's some picks. Here's some picks again off of Facebook. Redheaded Katie Sackhoff could play Mara Jade. Maybe have a purple lightsaber, and then let's maybe have her in a future Star Wars. Then Anna Torv is a good choice. That was on Shoy Pants. Hans Zimmer. A lot of Facebook stuff as far as who they're suggesting. Okay, so at Twitter. At Schmoes Know, on Facebook, just keep on tweeting in. We're going to talk about the teams, talk to Reilly.
Tiffany's got a nugget.
Phil wrote in, if Kristen Stewart or Anne Hathaway are in Star Wars, I won't ever see it in my life. I'll buy copies to break them.
Liars. I don't care.
Wait, no.
Whoever is going to be in
this,
people are going to see it.
That one's going to... Hold on. Go ahead, and I knew you wanted to talk about something.
Yeah, I'm having this weird rash, and I don't know how to get rid of it. What do you mean? Yeah, well, I think that before we go any further, we should talk about something that helped fuel not only our fantasy draft last night, but going forward, the actual podcast. Guess what, kids? We got a new sponsor.
Hey, sponsor! New sponsor, alcohol.
Sponsored by Imperial Cerveza. We're going to have a number of these
beers,
different
guys.
beers. Imperial's the first one, and what better way to have a Star Wars fantasy draft than with the Galactic Empire's favorite beer?
It made it fun last night because I didn't know what kind of beer it was at first, and I'm like, let me try it. The fact that we're doing Star Wars with Imperial beer,
it is a Costa Rican beer.
Man. It's really good,
and it's like a lot of South American beers I've had, except better. You don't have to cheat this one with a bunch of lime and salt nonsense. Right. It's good right out of the bottle, and I wouldn't be saying that if I didn't actually like it.
Yeah, so we're
drank 9 last night.
We'll have all the links there. You can just go check it out. Go check it out on Google. Just find Imperial beer. But I want to take a phone call from Schmoville and find out so far what they think of the teams and whose team they like the best. Yeah. Hey, you're in Schmoville. Who do we got?
Hey guys, how you going?
Hi, we're doing good.
Great,
who do we got?
I'm Darcy from Australia.
Hey, Darcy, thanks for calling. So, Darcy, have you been listening to the show so far?
Yeah, I have, and I just want to say that I run a YouTube movie news channel just like you guys do.
Yeah, great. So, who out of you listening so far on the show? Whose team so far do you think has a pretty good shot of winning out of the teams you've heard so far?
Probably Mark's. But the reason I was calling is I wanted to, if you have time, I was wondering if I could invite you for a Skype interview or something.
Well, why don't you shoot a message on Facebook, dude. We'll talk to you there because we just got to run the show now. But thank you, Darcy. It's really nice that he's calling from Australia. I want to take a call from Schmoville. I want to get a phone call here as far as the teams. Hey, you're in Schmoville. Who do we got?
Hey, it's Leanne from New Jersey.
Hey, Leanne. I know you.
The queen of Photoshop.
So far, Leanne, who's got the best team so far?
I gotta go halfway between Shuzy and Josh. They're kind of neck and neck on this one.
It's good so far. I mean, I don't think you've seen anything yet, but so far, But everyone has to realize too. And Leanne, thank you for the call. I'm sure you're going to get a lot of material for posters tonight. Especially, you know what, Leanne, I would love to see some of your mock posters for some of these teams. You can take any You can take any stars. You can take any stars from any of these teams, and I would love to see a poster. It could be like, again, Kristen Stewart and Julia Roberts in Star Wars would be amazing.
It'd be great. I will see you on the scramble court,
Yes,
Leanne.
thank you, Leanne. So here's the thing, though. Here's what people have to remember. I actually think, as far as possibly winning the bet, Mark Reilly has just as good of a shot, if not the best shot.
He's got Mark Reilly's. These are his first 4 picks to recap: Kenny Baker, John Williams, Frank Oz, and Andy Serkis. That is murder's row, man. That's the 1927 Yankees.
He's got Simon Pegg. If they do a flashback like with Liam Neeson, it's a possibility. Jennifer Garner was an Alias. That's a good one too.
Yeah.
And then I really think that he's shit out of luck. But for the most part, by
the time you really get down the list, those really don't mean anything. You got to play the odds in this.
If you hit 3,
I think that's why the top 3 picks are.
I think you have Baker. The Giacchino thing scares me, but I think you have it with Williams.
Giacchino scares me too.
Frank Oz, I don't know, but Andy Serkis, I feel, is a guy that they would go to. So
I do too.
So look,
I do too.
So
I have a question. Why does everybody hate Anne Hathaway so much?
No, I don't hate her.
It seems like a lot of people just hate Anne Hathaway.
Look, and I was going off a strong rumor saying that they're going to cast a female lead.
Yeah.
And
that was Vaughn. That was when Vaughn was attached.
That was when Vaughn, but that came out the other day too with JJ. So you kind of got to hedge your bets a little bit.
I
think of the business side of it. Anne Hathaway, she's kind of hot right now.
You remember those speeder bikes in Return of the Jedi? If she rides that like she rode the motorcycle in The Dark Knight Rises,
hell yeah.
You got my $15, JJ.
Mm-hmm. And you know what, Kristian? I want to bring up a point. I think they shouldn't ignore the prequels. I know that they're bad.
But why would you go back 60 years in time?
In continuity's sake, for the characters.
Yeah, sure.
At least,
acknowledge them. Have some. Maybe there's a flashback with Natalie Portman. Maybe Liam Neeson shows up in spectral
why?
form.
But in 60 years, you can get
Who
away
knows?
from it. You don't
Who knows
need it.
why? Without knowing story,
I think that when Luke's teaching the young Jedis about the ways of the Force, he should say, "Yeah, it happened a long time ago. They made some shitty movies about it." I think that should be how you.
Michael Holland on Facebook says, "I want Tiffany Smith to win." So we'll see her team in just a little bit. We'll see in a little bit. But now, Mark Reilly, you are dismissed from your cheating ways.
We bid you adieu. The Reilly Alliance.
The Reilly Alliance, folks.
Reilly Alliance.
All right.
Okay, so the next now we're going to cover. I believe we have. Oh wait, we put Reilly in next. Riley was not supposed to go next. But that's all right.
Fine.
Josh McCouga.
Josh McCouga's team.
Who's not here to defend.
So we will talk about his love for
need
boobs.
some defense.
Yeah. Okay. So one of the questions Billy the Kid asks: are you guys allowed to trade players? And we came up with a rule about that we'll explain afterwards.
Yeah.
The answer is not as of right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. So here is Josh McCouga's team.
No. Oh, Laura. Gunite.
All right, here's Josh McCouga's team. Starting off his first pick, Carrie Fisher.
And then he goes to Mark Strong.
Coming in third would be Gina Carano.
Followed by a Miss Game of Thrones, Lena Headey.
Idris Elba, great pick.
And then Armie Hammer.
Judge Dredd's counterpart, Olivia Thirlby.
Followed by the lovely, the talented Charlize Theron.
Olivia Wilde.
James McAvoy.
Olivia Munn.
Garrett Hedlund.
Eva Mendes.
Lee Pace.
Stealing my pick, Guy Pearce. We'll explain that in a second.
And then Ezra Miller from Perks of Being a Wallflower.
Composing this movie
Who we asked like 14 times who is he.
Composing the music will be Danny Elfman.
He has editing 1983 Cardinals relief pitcher Lee Smith.
Followed by Selma Hayek. Mustache and all.
Leanne just tweeted in, is this going to be called Star Boobs?
She knows exactly where his head is
You know
at.
what? That's not a bad transition into Josh McCouga's team name, which is called I Love Titooines.
Yeah, let's.
That is his team name.
Right.
I Love
Keeping
Titooines.
it classy.
Now look.
Keeping it classy.
No, look. McCouga was drunk before he got there. So he was. Look, his first pick off the bat was Carrie Fisher.
Solid pick.
Good pick.
Josh was picking
that was my
fifth.
pick. He picked right before me, and Carrie Fisher. She was on my radar. I was going to pick Carrie Fisher for sure. And then he picked her, so I thought that was a good one. The second pick is Mark Strong. As a villain, sure.
I can see Mark Strong.
Gina Carano is the third pick. I mean, that's clearly a guy who's just trying to get you jealous.
But then he came right back with Lena Headey, who I think has a great shot at being cast.
Yes, that'd be a good one too. He
I
went
like
for the
Idris
hot
Elba.
girl.
Yeah,
I like Olivia Wilde.
Look, the more and more he drank, the more and more he
The
started
more he
getting
was
beer
like,
goggles.
these girls will be the hookers than the prostitutes and just have their boobs out.
I could see her.
Selma
I could
Hayek.
see her banging an Ewok.
Yeah.
I definitely.
mean,
Very good Bakuga.
Yeah. So Katie Urbar, I murdered her name,
Admiral's
says
daughter?
that Lee Pace is the best pick so far.
Okay, Lee Pace.
Lee Pace.
Yeah, he's
Talk about
sneaking
Lee
up on the
Pace.
board.
Who's Lee Pace again? I forget. Sorry.
Well, somebody will tweet us and figure it
Who's
out.
Lee Pace? Anybody know who Lee Pace is?
oh, that's
Wow, nobody knows who Lee Pace is. We see, and this is a movie show.
IMDb.
IMDb. We're gonna Lee Pace.
Kathy McFacterson, help us out.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
so-
Riley, you know how to get on IMDb.
So
right?
what's the name of McCouga's team? Do you know?
I Love Titooines.
Titooine. Okay, that's
I
what it
Love
was.
Titooines
That's what
is
it
the
was.
name of
Okay,
it, yeah.
great. Okay, so that makes Joey Gonzalez giving a plug to your other show. Three's Too Much says Josh McCouga was thinking with D's nuts.
Three's Too Much on the Toad Hop Network from 3 to 4 every Tuesday.
That's right. Okay, so we have.
So what's Schmo?
So all right. Well, first of all, let's talk to Schmoville also. Schmoville, I want you guys to tweet back. What do you schmo Josh McCouga's team? How many schmoes do you give it on Facebook and on Twitter? Okay, so. Mark.
I Love Titooines. I can't give this thing higher than 2.5 out of 5.
No,
schmoes.
really?
Yeah.
I'm going
1.5.
What, you're going 1.5? Why did you go 1.5?
They're not going to be an NC-17 Star Wars. The one he drafted
It's
for that.
Disney Star
I know.
Wars.
Well, yeah, but look, we're talking inside of his brain,
And
but not
if Olivia Munn gets cast because of one Comic-Con cosplay,
Right.
something's wrong with Abrams.
Yeah, well, I think that was Inception. I think that was Inception.
Last night we're talking about it, and I was
Inception.
like, well, how did Olivia Munn get on this list? And they're like, she's connected to Star Wars. And I was like, well, how? Well, she
No,
wore-
that's not what happened. You said what you said was Olivia Munn. I said she has a connection to Star Wars, and you go, by connection, do you mean she wore the golden bikini once? I said yes.
One time.
Yeah, that was
One
it.
time.
That's a connection.
There are
Gorgeous.
plenty of girls around the country that should be in this movie then.
Okay, so Lee Pace is
And
an
some
American.
guys.
Lee
And some
Pushing
dudes,
Daisy
some fat
from
dudes.
Pushing
Oh,
Daisy.
right. Lee Pace was in Lincoln, The Hobbit, and the only good actor in
Keep-
Breaking
keep it
Dawn
down.
2. This is Kenny. You hear that?
No.
That is Josh McCouga.
Oh, that's his response.
Okay, so we have right now we have Carrie Fisher. I think is a guaranteed point.
Carrie Fisher's the only one that hits it out of the park for me. I'd like to see a lot of these people in the movie.
Yeah,
but I everybody loves casting Idris Elba in everything that comes out, so that's got a shot.
Maybe. I mean, again,
I feel like the hard thing when you hear the whole list, I imagine them as the entire cast. And we have to not do that when we're scoring these because, again, it is just the top 3. So I'm like, there are a couple people on there that
I agree. I think he's got. I think he has a point with Carrie Fisher. I think Mark Strong is a good possibility. I like the Idris Elba pick. I'm going 3 out of 5 schmoes.
Okay.
I think it's not a bad pick at all, and I'd love to hear his defending because most of it's just to piss everybody off. Like Guy Pearce, I screwed up because I was also drinking Imperial beer last night, and there was a couple times where the pick went. I shouted, I got Guy Pearce, and then McCouga heard me because he was like, I got skipped. And it was like, your turn. Guy Pearce. Like, damn it.
He did get skipped.
So
It was a legit.
He did get skipped.
That was my pick. All right. So anyway, so that was Josh McCouga's pick. That's his team. Now, so coming up next would be, we're talking to the man himself sitting in the chair, Ken Napsok.
Ah, yeah.
I knew you'd like this one. All right, Ken Napsok's team. Here we go. You can keep it going, Johnny.
I'm going to let you rattle these off because I don't have the card in front of me.
Peter Mayhew coming in at the first one, followed by Larry Fong. Ella Fanning, number 3.
Yeah.
Benedict Cumberbatch. Carrie Russell, who is rumored to actually be in this thing, apparently as of today. Nathan Fillion. Gary Oldman.
And then we have Ava Green.
Sam Rockwell.
Marion Cotillard.
Liam Hemsworth.
Some chick named Katie Sackhoff.
Victor Garber.
Jeff Bridges.
Rachel McAdams.
Rosario Dawson.
Composing is going to be Howard Shore.
Angelina Jolie.
And losing Schmoville completely, he picked Ahmed Best Jar Jar Binks. Okay.
And now, in his defense, that's the last pick of the draft.
That was his last pick.
Kind of have some fun with it.
And I know the reason he did it is for this conversation alone. Now, look. That Jar Jar Binks pick, as much as it would make everyone in life just want to shoot themselves, it's not the worst pick in the world. It's better than Julia Roberts.
I'm not saying he's going to be Jar Jar Binks in the series. I'm thinking Abrams is a Star Wars fan. He knows that Best had his world crushed, his hopes and dreams crushed by the whole Jar Jar backlash. Maybe
you think he wants to help him out?
Says, you know what, I'm going to give this guy a little spot. He's a spice smuggler helping out the
and he's
rebels.
just driving around in the car or something.
Redemption.
Right.
Abrams is a nice guy. He showed Star Trek to that dying fan. Maybe.
Okay, and, you're right, and that's why I said it's not a horrible pick. Your other picks, though, are like, when you started out, your first pick was Peter Mayhew,
who played Chewbacca.
And
in all 6 movies, he played Chewbacca, which means what?
All
He's been in
6
6
movies.
Star Wars movies,
no,
and he's really old.
He hasn't been in 6 movies. He's been 4.
Peter
4
Mayhew?
movies. He's only been in 4.
Chewbacca?
Yeah, he was only in episode 3 of the prequels. But now here's the thing, though, with that. J.J. Abrams will not go as heavy in the CGI in the prequels. And that served Peter Mayhew well with George Lucas because he didn't have to run around a lot, and he's old. It's going to be hard to run around in that suit. He was like 30 years old when he did that, so I don't see them casting him. You don't need Peter Mayhew to play Chewbacca, so that's why I was like, that's an interesting pick. The Larry Fong pick, who's the cinematographer
on Super 8 and 300.
I like that one.
That's a good pick.
I like that one, but I'm hoping you're wrong on that one because for reasons a little later explained.
Now, what's this Carrie Russell jazz I'm hearing? That maybe she's rumored to be cast.
Star of Felicity, which Abrams was behind.
And she was in Mission Impossible 3 for a second.
He threw her a bone in that one, too. Hand me the clipboard there, that one. Thank you. I picked Carrie Russell, and it was maligned last night. There was a lot of...
I laughed.
That should be the other one.
I laughed right in your face.
I'm not going to lie. I was one of those ones who was like,
you were one of those.
But then I've been seeing the previews for The Americans.
Yeah, apparently they said she's great in it. And she worked with J.J. Abrams before, and she said she would love to work with him again, playing any role that he would want. Again, this is not...
The story comes out today.
Yeah.
Dark Skies babe Carrie Russell wants Star Wars Episode 7 role, and she's campaigning right now. She's campaigning.
Again, all she needs to do is have one line. There needs to be something that comes out and says Carrie Russell is going to be, in the movie for 10 seconds. Kenny gets a point.
Yeah.
So, but Kenny
Maybe
also...
she can play Julia Roberts' daughter in it.
At Matt Puke 16 says Nathan Fillion is the best choice yet. 4 out of 5 schmoes for that team. Nathan Fillion is a good choice. There's a lot of fanboys campaigning for him to be in the movie.
I'm like, when you look at what J.J. Abrams did with Star Trek, and you're like, okay, he did do the throwback for fans who like the show with Leonard Nimoy coming back in the first one. I don't know that he's gonna go kitschy and like bring in someone that all the fanboys with Nathan Fillion are like.
It'd be something interesting.
I'm still shocked that Nathan Fillion fell to the 6th round before anybody got him.
Yeah, I know.
And the Benedict Cumberbatch pick, I think, is pretty genius. I think he's.
It depends though. The Cumberbatch one though. The reason it all depends on if J.J. Abrams is going to say I want to separate the new Star Trek totally from Star Wars, then you're not going to see him anywhere, right? Especially if he plays what's he rumored to play Khan, right?
We're supposed to see more during the Super Bowl.
Right. So
I also think my Victor Garber pick is a sleeper pick. That's from Alias as well. And,
okay.
So you're telling me they're going to play a football game in between the Star Trek previews?
Yes.
What?
I told you I don't care about football, but I care about the commercials.
Do I get a bonus point for standing behind our
Katie
very own Katie Sackhoff?
Now here's we just released our actresses pick on YouTube. If you want to check out the top 10 actresses we really want to see in the movie, Katie was on there, and it wasn't because she's a co-host. Because look, she was on Battlestar Galactica way before we knew her and everything too. She kicked ass on that show, and when she throws a punch, it's real. She's a voice on the Clone Wars. You know, if someone is suited for that universe, it's Katie. And again, she would have never been on the show. I wouldn't even know who she was, and I would say she should be in the movie. So that's for that one. As far as, and then Jeff Bridges, I'd love to see him in there. Not going to be in it, but this is again down the line. Rachel McAdams only did that because you hope she listens to this podcast and want to marry her.
Yeah, that counts as a marriage proposal by drafting her.
We all had marriage proposals on there. Jeff Bridges would be the only Jedi to wear a bathrobe while fighting. Kenny, what is your team name?
The team name is the Stomping Wampas.
The Stomping Wampas. I like it. Okay, the Stomping Wampas. I like it. All right, so Schmoville on Facebook and on Twitter, what do you think about the Stomping Wampas? What's your Schmo score? Mark, what's your Schmo score for the Stomping Wampas?
There's a lot of solid picks on there. I want to see this movie. I'm going 4.25 out of 5.
4.25. Look, I like Kenny's pick. I like how Kenny kind of snuck up. Again, he looked like I was like, Peter Mayhew, but I'm going 4 out of 5. 4.5 out of 5 for Kenny's team. I think it's a good team.
I'll take it.
I got 4 out of 5 on this.
Nice. 4 out of 5. Okay. And all right, so Schmoville, we have.
I'm happy with that.
Kenny has the best list so far.
So too.
He had picks that I would personally have 4.2 out of 5. Where's Michael Fassbender? Somebody got him. Don't worry about it. Somebody got Michael Fassbender. All right, so that is Kenny's team. Kenny, thank you so much.
Got it.
Well done, Mr. Knapsack, our producer.
All right, so that was Kenny's team.
Nice job.
All right, so that's going to bring us to our woman on the left here. That's going to be her. Here we go. Ready, Johnny? This is a good one. All right, here's Tiffany's team. Do you not have Tiffany's thing? All right. Let this play. We'll hear the music. Where the hell is she?
You have my list.
I have the list right here. I can just hold it up like this
okay.
for all of us to see.
So Tiffany's #1 pick was Michael Giacchino.
And then Michael Fassbender, the tripod himself.
Michael Kahn.
Followed by Cheyenne Woodley.
No, Shailene Woodley.
Followed by S. Woodley.
Yeah. Sean Bean, big pick.
Jessica Chastain.
Ken Watanabe.
I am jealous of this movie already.
Yeah.
Sam Witwer.
Loki, Tom Hiddleston.
Jessica, excuse me.
Yeah.
Nicole.
Rachel Weisz.
Ian McKellen.
James Darcy.
Naomi Watts.
Lucy Liu.
Narzine Contractor.
Navazine Contractor.
Why do I get all the hard names? What is a Narzine Contractor? Is that the guy building the Death Star?
Yes, Halle Berry.
Michael Caine.
Julianne Moore. I'll tell you what, so far reading it, on paper, good-looking movie.
Sounds like a really good movie.
I went with a different tactic than everyone else because I really don't think he's going to bring in everybody from the old movies. I think he really wants to make it a new thing and separate it a bit, which is why I'm like, he's going to bring his own team on, which is why I went with Giacchino.
It's a great...
Who is the composer.
Yeah.
And this is why I don't think that's a dumb choice, because you had... When Bryan Singer did Superman, he brought in John Ottman to do the Superman score. Still paid homage to John Williams.
Yeah.
And I'm sure... And you know Giacchino will do the same. Giacchino is... he's the John
fucking better.
No, but
I'm kind of thinking of a jazz fusion thing for this Star Wars.
But Giacchino is the John Williams to J.J. Abrams.
Yeah.
And it's just it's possible. It's possible.
It's a smart pick. And then now Fassbender, are you picking with your heart a little bit, or do you think he's really going to?
This is another. I'm like, people who look kind of interesting in the face.
Yeah.
That's people I chose too, and he's one of those people that I feel like he just looks interesting.
What a dopey move on us, by the way, because we left him out of our actors list. It was a total mistake. He would have been like 1 or 2. I want to see him in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, he's a guy, like, again, he could play a Jedi, he could play a Sith, anything. This guy is amazing.
Tiffany describes him as interesting. That's how you describe your ugly cousin you're trying to set up on a blind date.
No, I just mean like like they don't look like your typical everyday attractive person.
His face, you can just tell like he's been through some stuff when he's in a movie.
Yeah.
So I think he'd be great.
The same thing with James Darcy. Yeah. I feel like he's another one that has a similar look.
James Darcy, a good pick as well. The Sean Bean thing, I'm a huge fan of. The one that you stole from me, not like a Mark Riley situation.
No, not like Josh McCougar.
The one that I really wanted to draft was Ken Watanabe because I think he's just got that. He's got that great samurai kind of look to him.
Yeah.
Not unlike Michael Fassbender.
He's just a badass.
Yeah, you're the fan Schmoville is loving your list right now. Tiffany's list is competing with Kenny's as the best. Tiffany's team I give 4.5 out of 5. Ben Orzo says. Even Shoesy Pants is tweeting how solid your team is.
I'm going 4.5.
Joey Bean says her list sounds good, but it's too sci-fi. Well, it's kind of a sci-fi movie, Beanzo.
That's a great point by both. Yeah,
I know.
I got 4.5 out of 5 Schmoes for Tiffany Smith.
You know what? I hate to do it too, but I'm going to push. I say 4.5. You know what? Honestly, it's a great team. I'm going 5 out of 5. That's a great team.
What?
It's a great team. You got
the first 5 out of 5.
You got Giacchino, which is a good one. Fassbender. You have Shailene Woodley's up and coming. Sean Bean, Jessica Chastain. I mean, you have some.
And I'm surprised
players.
No one picked Jessica Chastain because she was a little
She
ways
dropped
down
to
the
the
list for
fifth
me.
round.
All right, I want to take a phone call.
It's a smart casting choice too. They get Fassbender because he comes with his own lightsaber, so you're saving some money.
It's true.
All right, so let's take a phone call. 323-622-8623. I want to hear so far now that we're almost at the first half. Whose team you like the best? Here we are, Schmoville. All right. Hey, you're in Schmoville. Who do we got?
Hey, guys, it's George.
George, hey,
Hi,
what's up,
George.
buddy? Hey, so you picked a cheater to win. How do you feel?
No, it's not that he's a cheater. I picked him way before when I was on the train.
Before you knew he cheats.
Before you heard the other
Reilly,
lists.
I still think Reilly has the best shot at winning out of everyone I've seen so far. His first 4 picks were spectacular.
I agree.
And I think the guy, he knows his shit. I think he's going to do it.
Can I want to point out that George also roots for Lance Armstrong in the 1919 White Sox.
All right, Georgie, thanks.
Be nice.
So Georgie's still sticking with Reilly. All right, so hey, you're in Schmoville. So far, who do you believe has the best team? Who's in the lead to win this thing?
Oh, I didn't give my name yet.
I know. Hey, you're in Schmoville.
Hey, Schmoes, this is Chris from Florida.
Hey, Chris, what's up, man? So far, Chris, who's in the lead to win this thing?
Oh, you know what? At first I was going with your boy Shoesy Pants. I thought he had a great list, but after hearing Tiffany's list, I actually said it on Twitter, 5 out of 5.
Yeah.
I'm reading that list.
Chris, thanks, dude. I mean, unbelievable. Chris, thank you for the phone call.
You're a boxing fan. We got rope-a-dope by this kid. She shows up. She says she's sick. She's coughing on everybody. She's like, I just want a shot of whiskey and some NyQuil. And then, wow, did she hit the gas.
All right, so how much time we got, Ken? All right, so before can we get my bag here? Let's take over.
Yeah. All right. So Kristian is reaching down, grabbing
what's
something.
about to happen
No,
right
no,
now.
no. I got it.
So
So I'm going to give this to Kenny because this is from another. We give a ripped apparel shirt. And Reilly, you should come here too. Look at this one. You talk about Star Wars related. Look at that.
Oh, man. That's a good one.
That's a C-3PO arm. That's the guy from the Mos Eisley Cantina. That's the Wampa. And then there's 2 very important hands in the trilogy.
There you go. So that is for you, Kenny.
Oh, thanks.
Very
there
nice.
you go. So, and again, that's from Ripped Apparel, and Mark Riley's also wearing one too, the Masters of the Universe shirt.
I love this one.
This shirt's Ripped Apparel, guys. Again, you know the drill. If you just type in Schmoes, lowercase, you get $1 off. They have amazing shirts.
Only $10 to begin with, and it's available for 24 hours. Then it is gone forever.
All right, so we're going to go to break here in a second. When we get back, we're going to go over my team. We're going to go over Mark's team. Our buddy, comedian Tom Connolly, will be joining us. Tom knows a lot of shit about movies, too. He's also going to critique our teams. So we will be back in just a little bit. Keep on the tweets. Keep on it coming. Schmoes. Oh, wait, you know what? This doesn't work anymore. It's the Rudy theme song. We're going to take a break and let it play. It's fine.
The Rudy theme?
Yeah, we
It's
decided.
supposed to be football
it's
movie time.
football movies. It's Rudy's. Football's not going to come into like the next 15 minutes. The Schmoes, everybody's really, this is a competition. But before we get into, I want to introduce our guest in a second here, too. I also want to bring in one of our, if you guys check out schmoesknow.com, we're very honored to have a really talented comic book guy who loves comic books. He writes about comic books all the time. Matt Key. He just did a great thing on the Winter Soldier on the website. If you guys are fan. You should check it out. He's been listening. He's been wondering about teams.
Lurking.
Yeah, we know that the popular vote right now is going to Tiffany.
Yeah.
So we want to bring in the expert and see what he thought so far and have him break down. And not just because you're buddies with Ken, what team right now that you're listening to, you've heard so far, is your favorite?
It's the interns are nowhere close to it.
Oh man,
I'm really sorry, guys. Like,
you know how this show works.
It's not. It has nothing to do with interns. They just didn't make good picks. It's maybe. I mean, maybe it has something to do with interns because interns haven't learned how to operate in the world yet. I don't know.
All right, so who do you got so far? Who's your favorite team so far, and who's your favorite from that team?
I think who had Andy Serkis?
That would be Mark Reilly.
Yeah.
Mark the cheater. So you like cheaters?
No, it's not that I like cheaters, but I saw Andy Serkis was like, can I curse on this show? Yeah, okay. I saw that and was like, holy fuck, man! Like that's the pick right there. And whoever had
Ahmed
editing,
Best,
there it is.
Julia Roberts.
Kristen Stewart. Is that the
I'm
name
just
you're
throwing
looking
names.
for?
I'm just,
well, he likes it, so that's the team. So Mark Reilly, right again, and you're going with Georgie, and you're saying that as well. And I get, look, the Andy Serkis pick again. It's we're all geeks here. It's a geeks pick. I get it. So all right, Matt, when can we see your next article? When's it going to be up on the site? Do you know yet?
Next, I'll have an article on Malekith next week.
Okay, great. So again, if you guys check out, you can find all Matt's columns on the website. Go to the bottom right. You'll see Matt Key's name. It's worth the read, dude. He's very, very talented. Matt, thanks for stopping by and helping us out, dude. Appreciate it.
Matty,
thanks, guys.
All right, cool. All right, guys. So we're gonna introduce.
Pause.
What?
I still haven't got to give my team
Oh,
name
your
yet.
team name. What's your team name?
Okay.
Sorry, what is it?
Bated breath
So
here.
going along with the whole Disney Star Wars theme.
Yeah.
My team name is going to be Buzz Lightsaber.
Buzz Lightsaber.
That's good. I like that a lot.
Okay, good. All right,
That's
now,
my team name.
Well
now
done. My team name is just Woody.
Not yet.
Just
All right.
Woody.
So sitting next to Tiffany is a buddy of mine, buddy of ours. He was on, guys, if you guys remember on Schmo Plus, Grasping at Straws, we had our web series. He played my best friend in the show. His name is Tommy Connolly. What's up, Tommy? How are you, brother?
How are you?
How you doing, man?
Schmoville. It's excellent.
It's a nice,
excellent.
yeah.
I like the sound effects.
It's
Thank
good.
you.
It's
Star
not
of
sound
stage and
effects.
screen.
It's not sound effects. We actually have more interns on the bottom there clapping on the bottom.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah. So
real
hey,
life applause.
So Connor, so you've been listening here too, and you're a big movie guy. You're a big fan of these actors so far. I mean, I know you walked in a little late. You heard Tiffany's list. How did you feel about those actors?
I got to be honest with you. You've been throwing around names. I have no clue of what you're talking about.
Which ones?
All of them.
Tommy, let me break this down.
You said, hey, let's get Christopher Walken in to take Jar Jar Binks' place. I know what you're talking about, but I got to be honest with you. You're throwing around names, and I'm like, I am going to die on this thing.
The reason why
Michael Fassbender? You know who Michael Fassbender is? Yeah, you do.
Yeah, of course
you do.
Yeah.
I think he's
You would
confused
have to name movies.
as to the process.
He's Magneto.
Yeah.
We brought in Tom Connolly because the Super Bowl is on Sunday. We were going to have Tommy. He's a big sports fan. He's a
Thanks for
really funny
bringing me
comedian.
in for the 15 minutes, guys. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
But what we did is a fantasy football style draft,
Which is excellent.
trying to cast the next Star Wars movie.
Yep.
And these are our rosters, if you will.
Yes. Okay. So now we're going to get to my team. I'll announce all of mine.
Yeah.
And then Mark will announce all of his.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead. Ready, Johnny?
Wait, who chose this theme song for you? Yourself?
Anthony Daniels, C3PO coming in first. Daniel Mindel was my second pick. Chloe Moretz, Tom Hardy, Blair Brown, the Emperor himself, Ian McDermott, Kevin Durand, Sigourney Weaver, Christoph Waltz, Ben Whishaw, Britt Marling, Brian fucking Cranston, Brendan Gleeson, Judi Dench, Vera Farmiga, Anthony Mackie, Gemma Arterton, Sally Field, and composer Brian Tyler. I like my list. I like it.
Okay.
The last person is, I like my list.
I like my list. Hey, listening to it, I like it. So again, Schmoville, I'd love to hear your opinion on it. Gentlemen, lady.
You did a smart thing picking Anthony Daniels.
Yeah.
Because he's a legacy. You know, he played C-3PO in all 6. But again, it begs does he have to come back to be C-3PO?
He comes back on everything. He's in the Clone Wars. He'll do commercials. Even if he's not hired, he'll show up at craft services wearing the outfit.
He'll do commercials.
Yeah.
No one's going to be able to
Anything.
do that voice. I'm telling you right now. It's like the original Peanuts Christmas
He'll be
special.
back.
After that, all the voices changes. You just don't get the same magic. I'm telling you right now. So I agree with Kristian.
Yeah, thank you very much. Okay,
but that is merely one pick, and then your girl Chloe Moretz, you're very high on.
Chloe Moretz. Now, here's the reason why Chloe Moretz picked, because when Matthew Vaughn was going to make, he was rumored to be the director of this film, and he was very high on her too. And apparently, it's crossed over, and there's rumor and talk that that she might be in the movie at some capacity. That's all hearsay, but again, I'll go with a rumor on a third pick.
Okay.
But yes, so I mean, I'm very happy with them. I'm looking.
What is your team name? Kristian?
My team name would be Colt 45 and Carbonite Dreams. I was gonna go with.
Sounds like a Star Wars porn.
I was gonna go with Pad Me So Horny. But
I like that one.
Yeah, but I was.
I'm with Buzz lightsaber right now.
Good. All right. So anyway, that is the.
I don't know why that name made Mark's face real red.
Good.
It's funny as hell.
Colt 45 and Carbonite Dreams. It's a little Billy Williams, followed by a little Han Solo.
A whole lot of malt liquor.
At Aaron Ryan thinks that I have the best list so far. Chloe Moretz pick because she's been rumored. People like the Chloe Moretz. Miss Movies likes my Gemma Arden pick. Now here was my reasoning on that, and she went late
on Gemma.
Yeah, and look, she has been in some shit bombs.
Yes, she has.
She plays.
Did anyone even see Hansel and Gretel?
Gretel in Hansel and Gretel.
We did.
Right.
Which is surprisingly the number one movie. You know, there's going to be a drop off next week.
Of course,
just a little bit.
7% or something like that.
But she's good, and she was in that Clash of the Titans abomination as well. But it's like, but she is good in the movies. She just has been in shit.
Yeah.
So I think that cast in a good role, she could definitely.
She looked good pulling off the action in Hansel and Gretel, and she looked good pulling off the action and the damsel in distress in the Prince of Persia movie, which is better than I thought.
I might brings up a point, by the way, with
Yeah.
all just the CGI.
Yeah.
I mean, are they going to try to change that a little bit? Because
Did you like the new Star Trek, the one that came out?
Yeah, without a doubt.
That's J.J. Abrams, man.
Okay.
Like J.J. Abrams is gonna be. He's not gonna go. He knows what the fans want. That guy is so in tune with what the fans
They're actually
want.
going to use Legos
Yeah.
for the spaceships in episode 7. It's a tie-in thing.
I'm in.
But let me tell you that as far as I'm going to just go back to Gemma Arterton real quickly because I don't know, I might just be talking to Schmoe. Any Old Republic fans in the room here? No, it's all okay. There's a character called Batista in the Old Republic, and I think she would be great as Batista. So who knows? But that would screw me because I wouldn't get a point if she wouldn't be in episode 7.
Yeah,
but okay,
that was a fun walk down Star Wars novel land.
Your Tom Hardy pick is a great one.
Thank you.
I love Ben Whishaw as a pick for this too. Again, he's one of those ones that I'm like, he's got a kind of interesting face.
Yeah.
And I just got a funny feeling about Sally Field. I'll say it. I got a weird feeling about Sally Field.
You know why
I
I picked that? Sally Field went so late for me, and my reasoning behind it was because J.J. Abrams and Steven Spielberg, very good friends.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Lincoln.
She fought her ass off to be in Lincoln and impressed Spielberg.
And why couldn't she be? Why wouldn't you like if they're sitting around a table going over a new plan or something? Like in like a new rebellion or whatever. And Sally Field is like the new Mon Mothma.
Yeah.
I'm sold.
And I just read that Burt Reynolds and a Pontiac Trans Am have been casted in Star Wars, which would maybe Sally Field the love interest.
Okay, so let's see. Let's some more tweets at Schmoes Know.
I'm going to go ahead and schmo your team name is phenomenal.
Thank you.
Your team is good. They're a solid squad. 4 out of 5 schmoes.
You're just doing that to
4 out of
spite
5
me.
schmoes.
You're doing it to spite me.
That's a good score, Kristian.
All right. Tiffany?
I will give you a 4 or 5 out of 5.
Thank you. Tom Connolly?
I'll give you a 5, man.
Yeah, thank you, Tom Connolly.
Hey, Kristian, thanks for getting me on the show.
Played my best friend on Grasping at Straws.
I don't know any of these names.
Come on, guys. I'm easy.
Right.
Who made this show work?
There is Imperial beer here.
All right, so I'm getting 4 out of 5 from Schmoeville. They're giving me 4 out of 5. That's good. Okay, so again, we're going to get to yours pretty quick. Kenny's in the corner calling Chloe Moretz. And let me also
Rachel McAdams. He's like, "Did you get my proposal?"
One other one, by the way, going against Kenny here. Daniel Mindel was my second pick. Daniel Mindel shot. He was the cinematographer on both the Star Trek movies. Now, I think that J.J. Abrams would go with him over the Super 8 guy for a movie like this. That was my thinking on that. So
okay, very sound logic.
Now, finally, we get to Mark Ellis's team, and we're going to have he's got a very good Star Wars theme. Very happy for this Star Wars theme song.
Well, the reason why is because this was a fantasy draft.
Oh wait,
it's like sports, and it's like I'm introducing my team. All the lights go down, and now here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The starting 5 for Mark Ellis's team at point guard. From parts unknown, Harrison Ford, everybody. Followed by Peter Dinklage, Dennis Lawson, Wedge Antilles, Kate Blanchett, Dane DeHaan from Chronicle, Haley Steinfeld from True Grit, Kenneth Branagh, Numi Rapace, the original girl with the dragon tattoo, Zoe Saldana, Jeremy Renner, Paula Patton, both of them in the MI4, Kerry Washington from Django Unchained, Jeffrey Dean Morgan from a bunch of shitty movies that he was good in, some girl whose name I have no idea how to pronounce.
Q Wallace.
Q Money from Beasts of the Southern Wild.
Idiot.
Nate Parker from Arbitrage. Zachary Quinto, he is Spock in the new Star Trek. Mila Kunis, Jeffrey Ford, and Wally Pfister.
You have no idea who Wally Pfister is.
He was the cinematographer who bashed the Avengers.
All right.
I just have to say, I feel like if his scores go up more than ours, it's because he gave the movies that these people are all in.
Right.
Not only that, you sold your team. You sold your team.
But look, here's the thing. Now, I liked a lot of your picks. Now, what's the name of your team?
My team name, this was really hard for me to do. I had to narrow it down. I considered Jawa Switchblade at one point. Then I wanted to go more rock and roll. I was thinking, do I do 3PO Speedwagon? Do I do Bachman Turner Hyperdrive?
Yeah.
And I finally decided on Bob Fett and the Cloud City Rollers.
All right. So we both have bands, basically.
Damn right we do.
All right, cool. All right, so here, let's go over your picks. Schmoville, make sure you schmo Mark's team. Let him know what you thought of his team.
And remember that Dennis Lawson did play Wedge Antilles.
Now, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that in a second. Now, at Jake Shy says, I believe that Harrison Ford has already confirmed being in it right around when they announced it. No, he didn't confirm that he was going to be in it. He confirmed he'd be interested in it. And that's the thing, is that he gets grouchy. Yeah. Harrison Ford. So the thing is, it's not a guarantee. You figure if you're going to lock down the main characters, Harrison Ford's a good bet. I mean, you want to get him, and even if he dies in the first one, you still want to get him. But the Dennis Lawson one, I don't see there's a need for Wedge Antilles in the next one. He's going to be like 30 years older. You're going to have him flying around on a plane. He's going to
is Mark Hamill. You see, Kristian, humans age at the same rate. So everybody is going to be 30 years older. And I think that Wedge Antilles, look, the guy's a survivor. Everybody writes off anybody whose last name isn't Skywalker or Solo in the movies to survive, but he pulled 2 Death Star assaults, and he survived both of them. You're telling me he can't survive one casting call?
Also, I'd like to point out that you brought up the Trans Am with what's his face? Let's bring the Corvette back. Let's just get that in a Corvette summer.
Very mixed reaction. Very mixed reaction on Schmoville. Very mixed. You have just by an inch, Mark Ellis takes the cake for the best draft picks. That's from Joseph Hennings. Then you have from Aaron Ryan. Mark officially has the worst list. Then from Knight of Steel 87, Ellis started out strong, ended weak. And then you have Michelle at Bloody Jack. One says, love Peter Dinklage, 4.6 out of 5. So it's very mixed right now. I think that the first couple, I think you have a point with Harrison Ford. I think the Dennis Lawson one was kind of a throwaway, right?
No.
Which one is that?
No, I drafted the team, so naturally I wouldn't throw away my third
What is
pick.
Dennis? Dennis Lawson is what? The cinematographer?
It's Wedge Antilles.
Oh, Dennis is sorry. I think
Who's hosting this?
I know. I was looking at the Wally Pfister one. Sorry, that's a throwaway.
Schmoes Know brought to you by Imperial Ale.
Yeah, exactly. Paul Patton one, I think, is one that's interesting.
Jeremy Renner and Paula Patton were both in Mission Impossible,
which he produced,
which JJ did produce, and I think that, and I haven't heard a lot from Paula Patton recently, so I don't know if she's in the gym, she's underground somewhere.
She's going on tour with Robin Thicke, just hanging out.
Now, is she dating
a
him?
hot wife? They're married.
Oh, wow.
They got babies.
I want to read.
Yeah.
I want to read something from at Mr. MLEKODAY.
Okay.
It says, sorry guys, I think Tiffany is going to win this draft. Now, but here's the thing though. People aren't, I don't think, you look at all her names are great. It's an ideal cast you want in the movie.
Be a good movie.
But you also got I don't think she has a lot of guaranteed people. I think Reilly right now has the best chance to get to 3 before anybody else. So the bet, Tommy, is that the first person, whoever gets hired, you get 3 points to get hired, and then someone wins a dinner. You can go to any restaurant of your choice in L.A., and everyone else has to pay for it.
Fantastic.
Reilly has Frank Oz, who did Yoda's voice. He's got John Williams, the original composer, and he has Kenny Baker, who played R2-D2. Who's been in all this stuff too?
And then further down the list, he has Julia Roberts, Kristen Stewart.
But again, that part is shit. But it's all about getting to 3 first. I think personally, Mark Reilly and Josh the Intern have the 2 best chances right now to get.
So the first 3 that get hired gets the dinner.
Yes.
Yeah, I just think it's really going to depend on how JJ does this, though. If he really wants to separate it a bit and not feel like he's trying to make the first ones.
Yeah.
We're just going to skip the middle ones. Then I think he's going to go totally different.
And you wonder what the casting order is going to be as far as the announcements go. Like, are you going to say, if Harrison Ford and Mark Hamill are going to be in it, are those the first names that come out because you want to get the fans excited that, hey, this is a real, or do you want to separate it enough to where you say, oh, yeah, those guys a bit, but not yet. No, we casted Jeremy Renner
Plus,
first.
just a quick word out to J.J. Abrams. If you want a Han Solo that's been on creatine and human growth hormone for the past 30 years, I am completely available.
He's sitting right there.
Yeah, I have gray hair, and I hate Ewoks, so let's do this.
All right, so here's how we're going to do this now. We got to ask Schmoville. We're going to take phone calls, and we're going to do Twitter and Facebook. I just posted on Facebook, whose list did you like the best?
That's a lot of social media, Kristian.
That's right.
I don't know if we
so
can
we're going to
handle
go
it.
to Twitter. Whose did you like the best? The two teams that got the most. We're going to go over their list again, and what movie, what we can do fake things of what you'd like to see in the movie, and what characters and stuff like that.
You and Tiffany did not schmo my list, and I won.
Yeah. Okay.
It's kind of rude.
Hold on, I gotta
kind of rude to invite a guy over here and not even schmo his
It's
list.
all about etiquette, people.
I am going to go
3.5
out of 5 schmoes.
I'm going to give you 3.75. I think a couple of the girls on your list are interchangeable.
I think Zoe Saldana and Numi Rapace, those are both.
I think you're Star Trekking it. I think you're Star Trekking it.
I don't think. I don't think he's going to bring anyone from Star Trek.
Yeah.
I think Paula Patton, Zoe Saldana, and what's the other girl? The girl from Django Unchained, Carrie Washington.
That's a good pick.
Like it's going to be one of them, but
Leanne
not all
just
of
put
them.
Paula Patton in there. That's great.
Oh, good. All right.
Okay. Oh, Julia Roberts. Put in there. Okay. I'll retweet that.
She looks a little tan for Julia.
All right, so it looks like Tiffany right now is going to be. We're going to go over. Tiffany's definitely on the board. It seems like Tiffany's is very popular. So we'll be going over her movie in a second. We're going to talk about kind of storyline of who can play what. So what about the people are asking where's Katie's picks? Katie wasn't able to make the draft. It would have been a lot tougher to get her involved in this. So she was okay bowing. She was okay bowing out. So Katie was not part of this list. So okay, so right now
we have to commit like the next 10 years of our lives to this draft.
Yeah.
All right.
How many girls do you think are going to be on board coming over to a stranger's house for a Star Wars fantasy draft?
Hey, you are in Schmoville. Who do we got?
Hey guys, this is Alex.
Hey Alex, so you've been listening so far. Which two teams are your favorite teams so far?
Probably Mark and Tiffany's are my favorite.
Okay.
I think Kenny is the most realistic, though.
I have a feeling I'm going to regret asking this, but which Mark do you mean?
Oh, yeah.
Ellis.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Ellis.
all right.
Okay.
Alex, my man.
Wrap it up.
Okay.
My favorite pick is on Tiffany's team. I think Michael Fassbender would be an excellent fifth villain.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, thank you for the call. Let's take another one here. So far, it looks like going back and forth. It looks like Tiffany and Ellis right now. Okay. Hey, so you're in Schmoville. Who do we got?
Oh, hey, this is Ethan from Kentucky. It's my first time calling in.
Hey, man. So what's up, Ethan? So you've been listening so far. Who are your two favorite teams so far?
I really love Kenny's and Tiffany's right now.
Kenny and
if
Tiffany.
Sean Bean is in the movie, is in any of these movies, he cannot die.
Okay.
I hope that they put him in it and he doesn't die.
I know.
I will be so upset.
Okay. So right, it's a little. Wow. It's a little. Now it's getting. Facebook's a little more. Go ahead.
Hold on a sec. I love your little reference to Batista. I am an Old Republic fan.
Thank you.
Nice Old Republic. That was really cool.
Thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. All right, thank you. All right, let's take one more call from Schmoville here. It's all over the board now. So, hey, you are in Schmoville. Who do we got? Who are your favorite teams?
I'm going with Tiffany's.
Okay, and how about number two?
Mark Ellis.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, so Tiffany
Is
Ellis.
it a shocker that all the Star Wars fans are going for the chick? Is that
Her-
just me, or is that just a little awry?
to be fair, though, her list is pretty damn good. Okay.
You didn't even ask me what I wanted to give Mark.
Oh, you didn't schmo it? What did you schmo Mark's team?
I say 4.9.
4.9.
It was a little below yours
Thank
because
you.
I have a sixth sense about yours.
Yeah.
But you had the presentation. You got Van Halen in the background.
Yeah.
And I'm on my fourth beer already.
Yeah,
So
all right.
you know what? You got me late.
There's
You
a reason why
got
we
the
saved.
extra points for showmanship.
That's right. That's right.
All right,
And
so-
she made a good point, too, that you actually named the actors and what they were a part of, which I desperately need because I don't know.
I'm here for
Yeah,
you, buddy.
I didn't know they were
That was
supposed
a
to go in so
great
much detail.
Dane
presentation.
DeHaan. Check
Yeah.
out Chronicle, man. Dane DeHaan,
Yeah.
that kid's going to be knocking stuff out.
I
Him
was
and
try-
Nate Parker.
I was
Keep
trying to
your eye
save time. Hey, you're in Schmoville. Who do we got?
Hey guys, Matt Brown.
Matt Brown, the guy who's responsible for the Always Sunny in Schmoville poster. What's up, my
sir.
friend? How are you? Great poster, by the way.
I personally think it's my best one, but
Dude,
that's
it's
not what I'm
amazing.
going to call it out.
Yeah, it's amazing. All right, so which teams do you like?
I think Tiffany's is the best list.
Yep.
Thank you.
which I called the other night. I think Reilly's is he has the best chance of winning.
Yeah.
But my favorite pick is on Shoesy Pants' list, and that's Anna Torv.
Anna Torv, that's a good pick. Yeah, from Fringe. Okay, thank you, Matt.
Okay, yeah.
All right, we're going to go one more call here from Schmoville. Then we're going to do a little bit of a tally, and then we'll see what we think. Hey, you are in Schmoville. Who do we got?
Hey guys, it's George again.
Georgie. All right.
Georgie.
Well, you know Georgie. So you got Reilly and Tiffany, right?
No, I got Reilly and Ellis. That's why I called back.
Really?
Thank you, Georgie.
What the heck, man?
Wow. All right. Thanks. All right, Georgie. All right, we'll take one more.
See, I don't know
It was
what.
the you pick the girl comment.
That's right.
He's
Yeah.
like,
Hey,
I
guys,
know.
welcome to the show where Kristian just takes as many calls until he gets mentioned.
No, I'm out of this thing. I'm out of this thing.
Yeah.
They mentioned me a few times on Facebook. I'm out.
That's why all the computers are facing you, Kristian.
I think right now it's going to be
If
between.
Kristian's wife can call in and just give him some moral
She'd
support.
probably vote for you. It's gonna be Tiffany. It's gonna be Tiffany and either you or Reilly right now.
Yeah.
So this, we'll take the final phone call here.
Okay.
This is it.
Okay.
And they'll probably kiss your ass. So it'll probably be all right. So Tiffany,
Sammy Hagar, you're on the line.
Hey, you're in Schmoville. Who do we got?
Hey, this is Mike from Olympia.
Mike. So you are the decision maker here. Who are your two favorite teams?
No pressure.
Okay, well, Buzz Lightsabers, that's pretty good. I like that a lot.
The team name alone is worth a schmo.
Yeah, okay, so you're in the finals.
But I also got to say, Kristian, you have a good team as well.
Well, thank you. All right. Well, unfortunately, I'm way out of this thing. So between Mark Reilly, thank you though. Between Mark Reilly and Mark Ellis, which team did you like better? As far as which team did you like better?
Probably Ellis.
Okay. All right. So Ellis,
Bob Fett and the Cloud City Rollers.
So so here we go.
Tickets are going fast.
So what do we got?
Sold out in 4 minutes.
At the LA Forum. It's the
second show
Cloud-
has been
Yeah.
added.
When Bob Fett left the Cloud City Rollers, that band fell apart. They need their lead singer.
We have a good tweet. Okay.
Tours, my friend. Look at Van Halen.
I think Tiffany has the best team, not because I heard her team choices, but because of that sweater. Sent in by Bobby Finstock.
Why do you guys
It's because it looks like his beard beanie.
Yeah, that's right.
You're right.
Okay,
Why do you think I'm
See you,
leaning over?
Finstock.
All
I
right,
see you.
Okay. Aaron Ryan tweets in nothing against Tiffany tweets. She's got a great list, but every guy's choosing it because they want her affection. I don't think that's true.
I can send affection through the interwebs, I swear.
Okay. All right, here we go. So let's go over we'll do a couple more things about your team, about Tiffany's team, just talk about the movie itself for the rest of the show, and then we'll do football movies coming in.
And to recap, the prize is going to be everybody else involved with the podcast has to take the winner out to the dinner of their choice, and everybody involved has to eat a meal. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
What if I finish second? Do I still have to eat sushi?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. So, look,
Fogo
anybody
de
can
Chao,
win this
baby.
thing. Like, literally, tomorrow,
I'm going to Fogo de Chao. If
There
Mark
you go.
Ellis wins this, then we are going to the Brazilian Steakhouse on La
Exactly.
Cienega.
you could be sitting on two. The reason.
You start off with bacon wrapped filet mignon. That's all I gotta say.
Sounds good.
There
Now,
you go.
the thing with John Williams' pick, though, too. Like, everyone's like, oh, it's a sure lock. People don't realize it, too. John Williams could announce that he's going to be in the movie like a week before they decide to it comes. Oh yeah, by the way, he's going to start scoring. That could happen in 2.5 years.
Yeah.
They can name other ancillary
You
characters.
brought up an interesting thing.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's pretend that we're back in like 2002, and they have announced that Superman Returns is being cast, and we did a fantasy draft of Superman Returns,
Right.
and somebody drafted John Williams. Do they get credit?
because he's not the composer. His
But,
music-
okay, well, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Ain't there no way that a Star Wars movie's opening without the John Williams theme music and the crawl
Yeah,
text,
but-
correct?
but-
so that is a John Williams score
Not if he's
in the Star Wars
not
movie.
if he's the one because if it's like a cover band.
He has to write-
It's like a cover band doing a Van Halen song. Is it Van Halen's song? I mean,
Absolutely not, Kristian.
Right, that's my point.
Why would you even bet?
Yeah,
You're out of order,
so
sir.
no, but it's the thing is, and Giacchino's a pretty good cover
Ellis
band, but
just
still.
hulked out. We're going to
Yeah, he
take a
did.
quick break.
I got as big as Tom Connolly there for a minute.
Shoesy Pants, get out. He just
Yeah.
tweeted, now
So-
I want Ellis to win.
John Williams has to write new music.
Yeah.
John Williams has to write new music, at least one new tune.
Well, he's just got to be the composer. He can do the whole. If he's doing all the old tunes, but he's the one doing it, going like this. Then he's that's a credit.
You look remarkably like Kermit when he's nervous. Just like, you're not exactly Wolfgang over there, buddy.
All right,
Wow.
so Joey Beans is going with the Stomping Wampas, but that's not what we're doing here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over these. Hey, Johnny Ice, can I have some the Star Wars theme music? Because we should. There we go. Okay. So again, this is the movie for Mark Ellis. You have Harrison Ford returning as Han Solo with his counterpart, not Chewbacca, because he's not cast in this movie, Peter Dinklage.
Yeah.
Kate Blanchett is going to be, I guess, the woman that Harrison Ford is after, and Haley Steinfeld is their child.
Yeah.
How about that? That's our start with Kenneth Branagh.
I like it, but somebody's got to let the Millennium Falcon pilot Han Solo know that you may need some phone books for Peter Dinklage to sit on in the co-pilot seat so we can see over the.
Don't let Peter Dinklage hear you say that.
I'm just saying, dude, let's get a booster seat for the guy or something.
Well, I mean, again, all jokes aside about it, I would love to see this movie.
I think that'd be a really good movie.
If you just took, let's just take the first
the top five
people, then you'd have Harrison Ford, Peter Dinklage, Dennis Lawson, Kate Blanchett, and Dane DeHaan. Dane DeHaan would be the star.
Evil Jedi.
He'd be the star of the movie. He'd be like the new Anakin, I think.
Yeah.
So, and then you'd have Wedge would be drunk the whole movie.
Yeah, well, like anytime you're mentioned in the same breath as Hayden Christensen, that's room for celebration.
Yeah, so what do you guys think about that movie out there in Schmoes? Would you like to see that movie? And then let's talk about Tiffany's movie, where we got we do the top 5 people in her list. You got Michael Giacchino doing the score, followed by the star of the movie, Michael Fassbender. Michael Kahn is not. He wouldn't be in the movie. Shailene.
He wasn't. He was the cinematographer.
Right. That's what I'm saying. He wouldn't be in the movie. He'd be shooting.
Harloff casting.
Sean Bean. Jessica Chastain. I mean, that's a fucking movie. That's an Oscar Star Wars.
That's a good movie.
That's a movie I want to see.
That's a good movie.
I want to
know
stop
that
talking.
the
and watch that
Taliban
movie.
are in the future.
Again, but that's the thing. Again, watching it, she by far is the best casted list. I just don't know how realistic.
Jessica Chastain is like a Jedi Striss, whatever.
Yeah.
She's a female Jedi. Sean Bean's her old man, and he's worried about her going off on this adventure. He doesn't trust somebody, and that person's name is the cinematographer, Michael Kahn. Fassbender.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a good one. All right, guys. So
I don't want that thing in my daughter, Fassbender.
That's the Star Wars.
Guys, like I said last night, I pick with my vagina.
There you go.
And with that, we're going to break. We'll be back with football
Surrounds
movies.
us, it penetrates us, it binds the galaxy together.
All right. It's the Star.
All right, calm down.
Hey, we had the Star Wars draft. We had a ton of fun. If you guys want to watch some of it that happened last night, go to Schmo Plus. We'll be back talking football movies. It's the Super Bowl, for God's sakes, on Sunday. What about some of your favorite football movies? Want to hear about it? Tweet in a second. We'll be back with Tom Connolly, Tiffany Smith, myself, and Mark Ellis, and the rest of the crew. Peace out, Mother Fs.
Championships. In the meantime, we're back to another.
All right. Listen to this now. Coming back. Want to listen to this before we talk.
I don't know what to say, really.
Yeah.
3 minutes to the biggest battle of our professional lives. All comes down to today.
Oh, good.
Either we heal as a team, or we're going to crumble. Inch by inch.
We got Jamie Foxx,
play,
the quarterback.
We're finished. We're in hell right now,
gentlemen.
Dennis Quaid's 50 years old.
Hey! And we can stay here, get the shit kicked out of us.
I'm just getting warmed
Or
up.
when are you going to lose your
we can
eyeball on that
fight our
field
way
today?
Back
You're ruining
into
one of the
light.
best speeches.
We can climb out of hell. 1 inch at a time.
But he's not a snitch.
Now, I can't do
I'll
it,
take a
Floyd.
flamethrower to this
I'm
place.
too old. I look around, I see these young faces, and I think,
With the exception of Dennis Quaid.
And
I
Shoesy
made
Pants.
every wrong choice a middle-aged man can make.
Middle-aged now.
Gotta get him yelling. When he yells, it's the best.
I pissed away all my money, believe it or not.
This is him talking to the craft
I
services
chased
table.
off anyone who's ever loved
He just
me.
had a breakdown on set one day.
And lately,
That mac and
I
cheese
can't even
isn't for
stand
free,
the
my
face
friends. Let me tell you.
Leave the tip!
You know, when you get older in
20%!
life, things get taken from you. I mean, that's
Brown
that's
M&Ms.
part of life.
I said no.
But
I said no
you
brown
only
ones.
learn that when you start losing stuff.
Was that joke you had? Give me all you
You
got!
find out life's this game of inches. So is football.
Is LT's falling
Because in
asleep
either
in the front
game,
row in the scene?
life or football,
Sleeping with some
the
young
margin
kid,
for
bro.
error
Prostitute
is so
is an
small.
8-ball.
He's out with the guy who did
One
Elmo.
half
He's
a step too late or too early.
LT is
you don't
eating
quite
Joe
make it.
Theismann's leg.
1/2 second too slow, too fast.
50 gut.
You don't
This is where
quite
he- this is
catch
where he
it.
gets pumped.
The inches we need are everywhere around us. Hell yeah. They're in every break of the game, every minute, every second.
Tommy, give me that slingshot. You can have it back in June.
Coming out!
Give me all guns, blazing. Give me all you got.
On this team, we tear ourselves and everyone else around us to pieces for that inch.
Legs blown off.
With a
Arms
fingernail
hanging.
to that inch. Because we know when we add up all those inches, that's gonna make the fucking difference between winning and losing. Between living and dying.
Shut your ass up, Frank Sears. Get out there
In any
and
fight.
kill him while I take a nap.
The guy who's willing to die.
That's right.
Who's gonna win that inch.
That's right.
And I know if I'm gonna.
Well, that was a beautiful radio
It sure
teleplay.
was. Listen, that was what that
Wowzers.
was. That was Al Pacino giving probably one of the best speeches in a football movie ever, and a lot of commentary in the background.
In any given Sunday, the Oliver Stone picture. that
yeah, which is probably even though you have that speech.
Yeah.
Didn't love that movie.
It's a kind of a ridiculous movie to watch. This thing that always bugged me about football movies. We'll talk more about this in a second.
Yeah.
It's just the fact that you got to use real teams. It's not the Miami Sharks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what is this? Is this a USFL squad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make it realistic. Having said that, welcome back to the Schmoes Know
Yes.
Podcast. For Al Pacino, I am Mark Ellis, and that is Kristian Harlow.
Hey, how's it going?
Kristian, we are talking about Movie Pass real quick.
Great.
You guys know Movie Pass. You love it. It's $30 to $40 a month, depending on where you
Yeah,
live.
I mean-
And when you get Movie Pass, you can swipe it once a day, every day of the month, to see a movie at a local theater near you. How crazy is that?
It's pretty great. Make sure that again, if you check it out, it's well worth it. Go when you're watching this video right now on our Toad Hop page, you'll see the emblem for Movie Pass. Click on that. And I'm telling you, this thing is worth it because when you need to see movies, you can see, especially even in January, when there's these shitty movies
Well,
out
you don't
in
want to
January.
pay to see movies necessarily.
Yeah, but if you're a
you
movie
can-
lover, you see like 8 movies, and that's right. You've covered it like by 3, by 4. You know,
Damn right. And even it helps out Schmoes, too, because we both have a Movie Pass, and I'm going to have to use mine tonight to go see Warm Bodies. Yeah! We missed the screening for it because we were working, so I'm going to go use Movie Pass to see Warm Bodies. Thank you in advance, Movie Pass, for making me not have to pay to see Warm Bodies.
Definitely worth it. So
MoviePass.com.
Warm bodies at around midnight.
Yeah, and our coupon name is Schmoes Know.
Yeah, and don't go through MoviePass.com. Though go through the link on Toad Hop. Okay, guys. So we are talking football movies, but before we do that, I want to talk to our buddy here, Tom Connolly, who's been sitting here. Tommy, why don't you give Schmoville a little intro? I know you've done a couple of reviews with us in the past. You did our Transformers 2 review with us.
Two of the worst movies ever. And they're like, you know what? Let's call Connolly in for this one.
He said, "No, you're the angriest guy in the world. We got to put you in there." But so what else have you been up to, man? What's been going on? You've been in a couple shows lately too, haven't you?
But, I'm trying to do the comedy thing, but normally right now, ever since actually grasping at straws, and I owe a lot to Kristian because I actually have a semi-acting career now.
Yeah.
Last week was kind of cool because I did another skit on the Tonight Show.
Oh, great.
And as far as like acting, I'm just taking, I send you my short films all the time.
Yeah.
I've got another couple coming out. So I'm basically concentrating on that right now. Actually, I turned down a nice big show at the old Ice House tonight in Pasadena. To be with you guys.
I love it.
So again, thank you for the
Dedicated.
15 minutes to talk about football movies.
Well,
But
Tommy,
anyways,
where can they find you though on your YouTube channel? What's your YouTube?
it's called Connolly TV1.
So CONNOLLY TV.
CONNOLLY TV1. And
YouTube.com.
Yeah, and it's on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I'm having a lot of fun because it's just one of those things where just don't wait for stuff to happen. Just do
This whole YouTube thing's kind of cool.
Oh, it's amazing.
You
Yeah,
should try that, buddy.
Yeah,
I should try Twitter.
Yeah, you should.
I should try tweeting with my Mac.
All right, so we got some football movies to talk about. If you hear that snoring sound, that's Tiffany Smith.
Hey, I made some notes. I was like, I better make notes.
But you know the funny thing is, though, even if you don't like football in general, sports movies are pretty damn fun.
She'll know.
I think the guys on this panel are going to know every football movie. We've seen all of them. My question to Tiffany is, do you have, when you hear the term football movies, do you instantly turn your brain off? Or
No.
is there a football movie out there that you actually liked and responded
There's a blast shield
Well,
come up.
Jerry Maguire, duh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
There you go.
I mean,
That's
but like
All
my
right.
football thing goes directly to Friday Night Lights, the TV show, not
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let's bring it back to Jerry Maguire though too, because
Jerry Maguire was one of the greatest tricks the devil ever did, because guys go into that and we're like, I'm watching a sports movie, and they bring their girlfriends. It's like, I'm watching a romantic comedy. It is a romantic comedy cleverly packaged as a sport. We don't know what we put in our bodies until it's too late. It's a really good movie.
And it's like Tom Cruise at his one of his best, I would say.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
Love
there was a
him
lot. I mean, Jay Moore was good in that movie too. Renee Zellweger. I mean, it was
The only acting role so far by former Lions coach Wayne Fonts.
He said Jay Moore was good in it.
He was.
You know the movie was good. Dude, that's probably the only movie he's ever been good in.
Right. Well, he was
fantastic.
but he was good in that movie. And again, like it just brought the best out of everyone though too, because you didn't know, you thought you were going to get some sappy romantic comedy, but it wasn't. Tom Cruise was believable as the agent, and then that end game when Tidwell gets hurt. And then he's down. You're like, oh no! And then just he's getting all excited. Everyone's getting choked up. It was a fun movie.
The only thing that bugs me about that movie is when Rod Tidwell wakes up and he does like a 9-minute touchdown dance. That's a flag, my friend.
That's
you
a
are
flag.
ejected out of the ball game.
Flag. Let's
Come
put
on.
a little realism in it. But
Yeah, that's a fine.
You can say what you want about Cruise, man, but I think he's a phenomenal actor. And again,
Yeah.
he brought it in that movie. So
Was that Cuba Gooding's first big? Like I feel like that's when everyone he got on the radar.
Well, he won an Oscar for it, and then he's in Snow Dogs and Cruise Boat.
Isn't that funny though? Yeah. After that, he just couldn't do anything. I mean, he was in.
No.
Yeah.
But this Tom Cruise guy has also been in a couple of movies. That was not his first football movie. He was in All the Right Moves.
number 10.
Playing
my
quarterback.
list.
All right. So there are a couple other Schmoville. Tweet in your movies, the football movies that you really like. We have a couple of them here. That remember the Titans. We are Marshall. Both the Longest Yard ones. You have a couple and Rudy.
Oh, The Blind Side.
Blindside. Yeah.
Blindside, another other chick movie packaged as a football.
Now I'll tell you my favorite football movie of all time. This is, and we also had someone just tweet it in. Freddie Concepcion just tweeted this as well. The Program is probably my favorite football movie.
Really?
I love The Program. Have you ever seen it? It's James Caan and Craig Sheffer.
For some reason, maybe I was inundated with football movies at the time. It didn't make my top 10 list.
Really? Okay.
No.
I love The Program. I think it's just it. Again, I went to Florida State, so it reminded after, and I saw before it was that Florida
And the
State.
team in the program is also Garnet. And Gold,
Yeah,
I believe.
but I didn't go to Florida State yet when I saw it. And
Is that why you went to Florida State?
Yeah. It was weird. When I got there, I started lying down on the road and stuff. And people were like, what are you doing? But no, it's just one of those movies that it's very realistic to what college football was like.
Mm-hmm.
And it just had great stories, and I love that movie.
And again, James Caan as the coach of a football team, he's one. If that's not your favorite football movie, James Caan has got to be up there as one of your favorite football coaches. However, again, not my favorite James Caan football movie. That would belong to
Brian's
the greatest
Song.
TV movie in history, Brian's Song,
Right.
starring James Caan as Brian Piccolo, a Wake Forest legend, and he is the fullback for a young man named Gale Sayers, played by Billy D. Williams.
Excellent movie. Didn't make my top 10.
All right, what's your
I don't know that.
so what's your
well,
what's
here's
yours?
the
What do you
deal,
got?
though. You marked on it right there because he is the best part of that. He is excellent in that. But
In
it just,
Brian's Song?
In Brian's Song.
Yeah.
He's, without a doubt, excellent in it.
Billy D.
But it
Williams
just-
gives a pretty tear-jerking speech at the end of that.
Without a doubt, he's good in it. It just doesn't carry well. I comprise this list not, saying, oh, these are classics. They have to be on there. It's movies that I just absolutely enjoy watching.
Yeah, I did my list based on how many Wake Forest references are in the film.
I knew that was going to come about because I know you.
Yeah.
This
I wanna
is
hear
my
this
top
list.
10 list. Number 10 is All the Right Moves because I think it's a really good movie because it really is realistic on the pressures of kids. It's almost like Friday Night Lights, but in Pennsylvania.
Let me ask you this: how many of these movies has Craig T. Nelson in it?
Just one.
Just one?
Actually, yeah, just
okay.
that one.
All right.
There you go. Thank
Okay.
God.
Well, you got to give a shout
Well,
out
he's
to the
carrying a golf
television
club.
program.
Yeah. So,
He's great. I mean, again,
And he
that's
was
why.
great
Yeah,
as
that's
coach.
so he's that's a good one. Before we get to your number 9, I want to take a call from Schmoville and see, hey, you are in Schmoville. What are some of your favorite football movies?
Schmoes, what's up?
Who we got?
Varsity Blues, man. We haven't talked about Varsity Blues yet.
No, we have not talked about Varsity Blues. This is a good one. Who do we got, man? Who are we talking to?
What's up? It's Shotgun.
Hey, dude, thank you for the phone call, man. Varsity Blues would definitely get into that one because that's a really good choice. Thank you very much. All right, so
I think what we should do here too is when Connolly gives his next movie
Yeah.
and so on and so forth, Tiffany should let us know if she's seen it right away.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
Have you seen All the Right Moves?
No.
Okay, because Tom Cruise is a quarterback in the film from Pennsylvania, which is the hotbed of quarterbacks.
Actually, he's a corner.
in
He's
the
a
80s.
corner.
He's a
corner.
cornerback.
Yeah, he's a corner. Yeah.
I could buy Cruises a corner.
Well, Tommy, what about Varsity Blues?
I'm going to put it on my honorable mention list just because I'm not going to argue with somebody named Shotgun. So
Varsity Blues. That's another one. James Vanderbeek was
James Vanderbeek.
That's like probably the last thing he was cool in.
Yeah. Well, no, he's like cool
He's in
that
the B in
TV
Apartment
show
23.
now.
I haven't watched it.
He's doing the retro
it.
stuff. Yeah. I think the great thing about Varsity Blues isn't it's not a great football movie, but it's so watchable. When that thing's on TNT, you watch the rest of it not just because you want to see Ali Larder in the whipped cream bikini.
And Paul Walker's in that one too, right?
Paul Walker
That's
and
right.
Scott Conn,
Yeah.
Jimmy Conn's kid, plays a tweeter.
Paul Walker is about to go to Florida State, gets hit, out, and then Vanderbeek takes over and ruins the whole movie.
That's right. John Boyd is an evil racist coach. You gotta love John Boyd playing a racist.
Yeah,
they all are.
Well, so you watch Varsity Blues in the TV show, then, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Friday Night Lights. Yeah.
Wait,
Oh
Varsity Blues.
wait, no,
then.
that's a different. So there's a difference though. 'cause-
Varsity Blues came out like around the time
Right. I
Dawson's
always get
Creek
those
was
two
cool
confused.
because
Right.
of
Okay.
James Vanderbeek.
Okay, all right. So then there's a couple other. Remember the Titans? Is that on your list?
Yep.
It fell though. It fell down to where do I have?
But
it?
it's on
Remember
your
down-
list.
Down to number 8. Number
Okay.
9 was Heaven Can Wait, which is an
I've
excellent.
never seen it.
It's with
Warren Beatty.
Warren Beatty.
Oh, does he
It's
comes
a
back? Right. Okay.
hilarious
I know which
movie.
one it is. Okay.
But number 8 was Remember the Titans because I watched it the other night and it was just totally Disney because it's like, okay, let's build this whole racial integration hatred thing in the late 60s and the 70s, but everything dissipates once you play a Temptation song in the locker room. I don't know. It was just too easy and every moment was a cry jerker.
That
you
has
know?
the same moment as Almost Famous did, where it's like this band hates each other, and then one Elton John song comes on, we're all best friends again.
Everybody's dancing. You know, it was,
I have seen that one, and I did really like it.
I think it's a great
I love
movie.
that movie.
It's an excellent movie, but I don't know. I watched it and I was like, it was okay.
And you could tell Hayden Panettiere was going to be hot.
Very
little
interesting.
baby in that one.
Right? Is that weird to say? She was like 8, but you could tell she was going to be attractive.
Very interesting tweet here from.
Wait, is Hayden Panettiere on your phone? You
What a creep.
creepball.
Oh
That's
my
not
gosh.
even. It's not even.
It's like that's a picture
She's
of his
the
girlfriend.
daughter,
Do you
obviously.
show that to
Yeah.
people?
Hey,
Wait,
show this.
wait,
It's a
show it.
paparazzi
Show it.
shot.
Screensaver on his iPhone.
Hey Schmoes, you think I can get her to sit on my lap?
Oh man.
He's red.
I like
He's red.
football.
Wait a minute. Don't
Do
you
you
say
show
wow.
this to people and like pretend that it's your girlfriend?
Holy smokes, dude!
Shoesy Pants has Katie Sackhoff underwear. So, all right. So,
It's a competition of who's creepy.
yeah. All right. So, wait a minute. I had a really good tweet here. That's very interesting. It's at Post Officer says Amerika nisha Fußball, nisha esm niet. Anybody know what that means?
I think that's Brett
Get
Favre
to the
announcing he's coming back.
It says Amerika nisha Fußball, ich habe es nicht. I don't know what that means, but somebody,
I
if
hate
you know what
American
that
football,
means, something like that.
German
leave it-
football
Love
is
it,
best.
ich
Jan
nicht.
Stunnerud.
That's
was-
a
They
love-
don't like
I-
American football. They
I-
like soccer.
You don't know what that. That's close though, but who knows what this? I
they call
love
it
when people
football.
scream at us in German. That's scary.
All right, so Remember the Titans was number 8 on your list. What do you got at number 7?
Number 7 was The Longest Yard, 1974.
The Adam Sandler one.
No.
Oh.
No, the original with Burt Reynolds,
Right.
because it's just so worth it to watch a movie where at the end, when they're playing the game, he rifles a ball into like the defensive player's nuts like twice, and they
Yeah.
collapse on him, and no one will resuscitate the guy.
That's right.
That's a movie right there.
And Burt Reynolds did play football at Florida State University, which is another reason why Kristian Harloff applied there.
That's right. That's also why I wore a mustache, a really creepy mustache, and posed for Playgirl. All right, so
I will say this about the Longest Yard remake with Adam Sandler. It's not a good movie, but I loved the thousands and thousands of cameos by former NFL football players in that movie. It made me like Michael Irvin. As a Redskins fan, that's a long statement. Yeah,
I didn't even want to touch it. I've never watched the remake because
you get to see Brian Bosworth as a prison guard. I mean,
really?
not that bad. Yeah.
Let's get to your number. Let's get to your number 8 because it's being tweeted and Facebook.
Number 6.
Wait, what did we talk about? Remember the Titans though? We didn't talk.
Yeah, that was number 8.
Yeah, but we didn't really get into it though.
I think we did. I think you were reading.
No, I know you
foreign
did Hayden
tweets.
Panettiere and stuff though too. But that movie though, it was like
Ryan Gosling was in it, guys.
Yeah, it was like everything. Ryan Gosling was in
Sunshine.
it. Yeah, but everything that they did for that movie, it's like the racial, the fact that they had the racial
It
equality.
really didn't address any of the issues. It was like candy coated. It just didn't
Kind
work.
of.
I mean, it was great. I mean, you got Denzel Washington in it. I mean, you put him in anything, and it's going to be gold. He was excellent as coach. I'm not saying, but every problem just seems to be an easy fix. Yeah.
I mean,
I feel like I need to rewatch it because I didn't feel that way when I watched it. But maybe I watched. When did it come out?
Because you're a
early
girl.
2000s.
I don't know. I disagree with you though, Tom. I think that they went after it pretty because I remember the arguments of it too.
It's still number 8. It's still in the top 10.
Right.
I mean,
okay. All right.
You know.
So all right. Let's get to 6. Sorry. What's your 6?
6 is The Blind Side.
Really?
Yes.
I'm really shocked that you put that up that high.
I'm telling you, this is a shocking list.
Okay.
This is a shocking list. And obviously she deserved the Oscar just to get over the annoying performance of the son, John Tate, whatever the heck. Yeah. So.
Okay.
I mean, it was a great movie. It was great, but I think
and it's
my
a great
top 5.
It's a great story too because Michael, it's a true story.
Without a doubt. I mean, but it's amazing because I have a couple here that I think. Well, one's for the old man, and the others that
Little
are
Giants?
my personal favorite. No,
You got Little Giants there?
The annexation of
I
Puerto
have
Rico.
seen that one.
Yeah, Little
Great
Giants.
movie,
Yeah.
exactly.
The great part about Little Giants is that they have to. It's kind of a patchwork equipment situation. They don't have like real helmets or shoulder pads, so the fat kid puts on a Darth Vader helmet
Right.
to play center.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, so what's your next one?
And there's
Number
chick in
5.
it.
This is the one for the
Plays
old man.
football.
1940 Knut Rockne All American.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely, yeah. Win one for the Gipper.
It's actually pretty. The way that they shoot the football is actually better than some of the movies and how they shot it in today's.
Well, that's because back then they didn't cast a bunch of pretty boys like Gosling and Tom Cruise play. They cast guys that actually wanted to get out there.
Exactly.
Well, Joey Beans 81 tweets in: best football players in a movie were the dead football players in Beetlejuice. It was a great one. Okay, so Tom, number 4.
Number 4 is a documentary. Maybe you haven't heard of it. It's called Undefeated.
No.
This
No,
is
what's
an
up?
excellent film. It won Best Documentary in the Oscars last year. And it is about the Manassas, Tennessee Tigers. And just a poor, poor town. They've been pistol whipped for about 80 years. I mean, they actually, to gain money for their boosters, they would go out and scrimmage other teams during the preseason to get their money. So they basically would have no team because they got their asses kicked.
Undefeated, it's called.
It's called Undefeated 2011, and it
sounds like it's going to make you cry.
Yeah.
It is.
Absolutely.
It will make you cry because it
But
really is.
you're interested in it, Tiffany.
Yes.
Yeah.
You will love this because it really shows a poor town where they really don't have a lot of opportunity, and these kids are coached by a guy for about 6.5 years, and his whole goal is to get them to their first playoff game.
Yeah.
And it's an amazing 2 hours.
All right.
Of what
That's
he has
great.
to
Okay.
deal
Speaking
with.
of documentaries that Tiffany should watch, there's a great football documentary called Highlights of Super Bowl 22.
No, stop it.
You got to check out.
You stop it. You stop it. You stop it now.
50 gut, man.
I think I'm not going to listen to that.
Nah, you're good. You don't.
Doug Williams.
All right. So who do you got at number 3?
Number 3 is Rudy.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Yes, you got to love Rudy.
By the way, speaking of Rudy, Sean Astin back in studio next week.
Hey, I'm not
So
here next
excited.
week.
That's the reason we booked him.
By the way,
Sucks to
great
be
guy.
you.
You know how I do Operation Gratitude
Yes,
Benefit
yes.
comedy for every year.
Yeah.
He actually lends his time to them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, every year. Saw him.
Rudy
at their-
Rudiger does? The
Yes.
real one?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Well, not Rudy Rudiger.
Sean
Sean
Astin.
Astin.
Oh, Sean
Yeah,
Astin.
Sean
Okay,
Astin.
good. Because I was about
he's
to
a
make
good
fun
guy.
of the real
Yeah.
Rudy Rudiger.
He's a big supporter of Operation Gratitude that sends care packages over
That's
to our
great.
troops.
Yeah, he's a
in,
good
like,
dude.
Afghanistan.
We're looking forward to having him back
You
on the
look
show.
at the facts of the case of Rudy. Joe Montana didn't remember who he was. In real life, he missed the tackle
You
at the
love
end.
shitting on Rudy every
And-
time we talk about Rudy.
Because I heard he's kind of a prick. You
He
know?
did make the sack, though, in the game.
You don't know the guy.
But it's a credit to the movie because as soon as the movie comes on, all that stuff goes out the window.
forget.
Yep.
I want him to go to Notre Dame. I want him to
Also,
get
he
in.
went
like,
into
I'll
the
get-
Navy.
I'll get back to
He went
shitting on
into
him when we
the
get back on
Navy
the
for
podcast.
4 years before he even went and thought about, hey, I might go to Notre Dame.
Yeah.
It's
Rudy, it's a movie about the worst Division I athlete to ever step on a field.
But the movie itself is just,
It's
that
phenomenal.
So
Jerry
good.
Goldsmith's
Yeah.
theme and everything about that. Johnny, can we cue that score up again? Because
when Mark Ellis waddles into the gym, which happens about 4 or 5 times a year, that is the tune that comes on.
It's just so,
I love that Rudy theme. Will get your heart going.
We can have the Rudy theme for the rest of the list because it's just so good and it's just such an inspirational movie. Like, who cares about if that really happened or not? When the football players at the end walk in,
The
when
only
the
thing
football
is
players walk in at the end, they're just like throwing down their jerseys and everything too.
But that never happened.
I
and
know. That's
why
what I'm saying. Who cares?
I love it.
For
Just
the movie,
right.
I
It's
don't
a
even
move.
know.
It's a move.
Did Rudy really have that girlfriend, or was she as real as Manti Te'o's girlfriend?
I know that story.
Yes. Tiffany Smith has re-engaged, sir.
Connolly, number 2.
Number 2 is Friday Night Lights.
Oh, okay. Back to Friday Night Lights.
It's really good. And
Billy
again,
Bob Thornton is the coach.
I think it all comes down to an entire town that lives vicariously through high school children and puts that amount of pressure to win state, you know? And it's
Which
like everything's
sadly
about
is
state.
so true.
Everything is
Yeah.
about football. It's football in the brain. Off season, they're all depressed. Just seal the windows and turn on the gas because they're just
and it's like a
waiting
darker
for-
version of Varsity Blues. It's really
really
it's a
is.
similarity.
It doesn't have like the wacky strip club
Right,
shenanigans and all
right.
the other stuff, but it's really, you feel the heart in it, and it's funny because you say it's like this whole town gets behind this high school football team. We root for professional athletes, which is even silly.
Yes. Well, you know, I have a Super Bowl ring in my car, which I'm not wearing right now.
Which
so
you tell
that shows
chicks at
you how
bars that
vicarious-
you won with the 86 Giants.
Without a doubt, I was on the practice squad. Are you kidding me?
Then what would be your number one
racking
list?
my brain here. Back to number 2, though. This is what I'm talking about. This was actually a line in the movie. You know what? There's just too much learning going up in that high school there. That's how sick they are for football.
That's what I say. Every time somebody wants me to read The Hunger Games, that's what I say.
So then number 1.
Number 1 on the list, and it still holds up, and it addresses everything that the NFL is going through now. It is North Dallas 40.
Okay.
Wow, North Dallas 40.
Old school.
Old school. Okay,
Watch it. It
That's
is
a real
hilarious.
football fan. So here's what we're going to talk about that one real quick because we got to go in a second here. But here's a couple other lists from Schmoeville. Some of them mentioned. We got Rudy. We Are Marshall. Remember the Titans. The Beginning of the Sixth Day. Friday Night Lights. Brian's Song. Parts of Jeremy McCoy. Varsity Blues. Blindside. Waterboy. The Replacements.
Anything in German?
I didn't hear it yet.
And Little Giants.
Maybe the worst TV movie ever made is a film called Black Sunday, where terrorists take over the Super Bowl and hold it hostage in 1979. It is so bad that Van Damme used it for a plot and sudden death at a hockey game.
Somebody actually Facebooked me that movie, and
Black
I
Sunday?
unfriended him.
Have you seen this one?
That list, by the way, that I read out was from Stetson Robinson on Facebook.
Nice.
Okay, so all right, guys, that was our football segment too. Tom, that was a great list, dude. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That was
Thank you for
great.
having me on board.
Yeah, so check out Tom at Tom Connolly TV 1 on YouTube.
He's a really funny comic, too.
He's really
like,
good.
if Tom ever stops canceling gigs at the Ice House to do a podcast.
I know, it's true.
I could go somewhere with that kid.
And he's a great actor too. Again, if you haven't on Schmo Plus, go check out Grasping at Straws. He's in the majority of the whole thing. He's got some great lines
JJ,
there,
he's
too.
available.
I know, yeah. You'll be
Whenever
in my
I
fantasy
receive an
draft.
Oscar,
Yeah.
Kristian is going to be the first name out of my mouth. Thank you, brother.
All right, guys. So, again, we have a lot of stuff next week. Make sure you watch the Oscar preview special with Sean Astin. He's going to be here. We're very excited about that. Make sure you go to Twitter, at Schmoes Know, at Tiffany's Tweets, at Schmoes Intern, at Shoes Pants, and the Schmoes Know. What the hell are you? Reilly Around, at Reilly Around.
Speaking of Texas, that's where I'll be next week at the Houston Improv, so check that out if you're in the area.
And we are going, and we have, check out our list that we just did on youtube.com/Schmoes Know.
Top 10.
Yeah, and tomorrow, our movies with the Schmoes on Machinima ETC. We got a new episode. Love to get your opinion on that.
We talk Star Wars.
Yeah, so that's it. And here's an announcement as far as if you want to see all of our lists, and everyone that we picked on our teams, then you can go to our website, schmoesknow.com. Mark Reilly is writing up the list. He's going to have a little Reilly roundtable, and I'll post it on Facebook so you guys can read it.
Good show,
Should be
team.
up
Let's
tomorrow.
crack open a
Yeah, it'll be
nice
good.
Imperial
You know
beer.
I am.
You guys, love you guys from
Imperial,
Schmoeville.
love you.
Thank you so much. And remember, Imperial beer, get drunk.